that we were starting at. I thought that I had set the start time to 7. I was wrong. But we had to get groceries and stuff, so there would have been a bit of a delay. I'll be in just a sec, though. Makusa, turn that fucking music down, dog. Alright. Sorry. I didn't think about that. All I was saying was sorry for the delay. I thought that I set the stream to 7 my time. I did not. But there would have been a delay anyway because we had to finish grocery shopping. But I will be here in just a minute. Sorry about that. Let me read this stuff real quick. Aravaki Gaming with the $5. If anyone from the Discord wants to wait until the disclaimer is over, ping me in the Discord and I will ping you when we finish. Thank you for that. And Vera, thank you for gifting the 5 memberships. Very nice of you. I will be starting up in just a second. We can get through our housekeeping stuff. I'll let you know, like, basically how the stream is gonna go, and then we'll pick up from there. So, appreciate your patience. Also, for those of you who are not going to be sticking around for the cat box opening portion, there is going to be a little bonus thing to wind us down afterward. So just keep in mind that that's not going to be the entire stream. Window, please appear. Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hold on, let me read off this donation message first. Vera with $20. I didn't fully engage with the text the first time around, but I'm trying to put the effort in via thematic reading solutions and more. Only then I might be ready to experience confessions. Thank you for being our reader. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anywho. Okay, so before we jump into stuff, allow me to sort of explain what this whole stream is going to be, what the general structure of it's going to be, all of that neat stuff. So first of all, you should know, this stream is probably going to be pretty short by Umineko standards. There's that. Second of all, let me tell you what we're going to do, because originally I had a different plan. We changed up the plan. We're doing this now. So I said back during the regular Umineko series that the episode 8 manga adds stuff to the story which makes certain things more explicit than they are in the VN. Explains some things a little bit more. So a lot of that bonus manga content was adapted into a fan game, like in VN form, which you are looking at right now. So that is what we are going to be going through today. It's not all of the extra content that is in the episode 8 manga, but it is, you know, basically the most important stuff. There are a few things that are in there. Originally, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to do this, but I figured it's been a few months since we ended the main story. I figured that I could jump into this as like a little last thing for the anniversary, because if you're not aware, the reason we're even doing this stream in the first place is because it's been approximately 1 year since I started the Umineko stream series. I started it on January 11th of 2024. So, you know, felt like a fitting way to wrap things around. That being said, let me read this donation real quick. Jam with the Canadian $2. Happy birthday, chat, and happy anniversary, Umineko. Thank you. But, yeah, so that kind of felt like a fitting way to wrap things back around. Like I was saying on the disclaimer screen, though, if you kind of preferred things to be a little bit more vague like they were in the visual novel, then this is going to split that shit wide open, so please exercise discretion however you want to handle it. You know, do as you will do. But that being said, if you haven't seen any of the Umineko series up until this point, I would not watch this stream at all. Like, you know, you can do whatever you want, obviously, but it's literally like the last part of a story. So, like, you should probably just read the rest of the story first. That being said, this stream is also going to contain the relevant trigger warnings for the late story. So, the stuff that you primarily see in episode 7 and 8. Yo! Billy with the $50! Without love it cannot be seen. Thank you! But yes, so like, if you watched the series up until this point, which you should have, then you should know all about those triggers. But, you know, just in case, gotta reiterate, there's going to be discussion about sexual assault, there's going to be discussion about incest, pretty heavy subject matter in the late game of this story, so if you can't handle that, I would gracefully bow out now. And then, once we get through all of this, we're going to take a brief BRB break. This is probably going to last around like an hour to an hour and a half or so. And then once we finish that, we are going to do a little bonus thing, a little bit of a palate cleanser, something lighter, something funnier, something that does not have all of these spoilers in it. So it should be good for those of you who don't want to crack open the cat box. As I start this, it is going to be on this version of the fan game, which contains the original art, but there are some portions of it that are not in this build, that are only in another build, which uses the console art, which we use throughout the series. So, once we get partway through this, or at least to the end of what this build contains, then we're going to switch over to the other one so that we can get the rest of that content. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else we have to touch on before we start. So, yeah, if anything else relevant comes up. Also, body gender dysphoria, content warning. Yes, there's a lot of discussion of that in this as well. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to go through, so I guess without further ado, let's cry for one last time, baby. Oh yeah, don't worry about this one, by the way. It's an adaptation of a gag like 4 Coma, and it sucks. I'm not going to be reading it. It's not important. Anyway, starting with this. Confession of the Golden Witch. Good morning. This is not a game or a challenge, but a simple answer sheet. In truth, it was my desire for this tale to remain uncovered, but the difficulty level is low. After all, no more questions are being asked. And no, I'm not going to be casting the spell! Please note, this video, it was used as like a video upload first, but it's a game. Is a visual novel adaptation of Umineko no Nakakoroni's manga-exclusive story, Confession of the Golden Witch, as well as the additional story, The Cage of Obligations. Naturally, major spoilers within. Absolutely do not watch this video if you have not played Umineko. The download to play this yourself, as well as places to purchase Umineko legitimately, are in the description. Well, it's in their description. You're resourceful. This project was made for fun, and I do not own any of Umineko's background, sprites, music, or sound effects. All credits go to the original creators. With that, I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to episode 8. Anjay chose to ignore Erica as she made tea, and decided to look around this bizarre, otherworldly library. Her eyes were drawn to a large shelf laden with bottles. These are wine bottles? That's the shelf of Beatrice's bottled messages, as well as all of their fakes. I see. In other words, that means that all the titles I don't recognize are either undiscovered bottles or fakes. Red paper? I picked up the bottle and read the title. I don't recall any of Beato's games having a title that started with a C. Is this one of those undiscovered bottles? The bottle shattered in my hands, leaving behind nothing but a crimson-red fragment. Right. These aren't normal books, are they? That's right. Each volume is packed with an ensemble play. They look like books from here, but if you open one up, you'll find a whole world inside. An entire world. Oh, did I wake you up? No, I slept well. I feel refreshed now. You've been pretty hooked by that computer lately, Hikuko-san. Did you find an interesting article or something? It may be juvenile, but I admit I find it interesting. Say, Toya, what motives do you think could drive a person to kill another? Is she planning a new idea for a novel? Status, honor, money, revenge. Things like that is... Oh, that's also Toya. Status, honor, money, revenge. Things like that, I suppose. In the world of mystery novels, that may be so. But in the real world, spontaneous murders that arise from simple arguments and odd, unsettling feelings in the air are far more likely. According to psychology, men often kill to uphold status, or to make a lover eternally theirs. Women kill to escape those who keep them trapped in place. Many indiscriminate killers have a death wish, and commit murders to make themselves irredeemable and worthy of death, so that they can finally bring an end to their own lives. Are you thinking of a story where the motive is the main purpose of the mystery? It's just so interesting. This Rokenjima incident. Rokenjima? I told you about the Rokenjima mystery a few days ago, remember? It's been really huge on the net lately. The discussions, theories, and even the forgeries have been quite entertaining. Forgeries are stories, all based on the premise that yet another message bottle signed by Ushiramiya Maria existed and drifted to one of the nearby islands. Here's one. The other day, I found it on the beach where I discovered you, and I was hoping we could read it together. This one is less of a forgery and more like a message bottle version of Then There Were None. The contents are simply fascinating. Maybe there actually is a dedicated forger nearby. Maybe it's a message bottle from the real killer. Ikuko kept showing off her knowledge of the subject. However, a huge bell was clanging inside my head. The noise was so great that I thought my head would split open. Unable to tell what was the floor and what was the ceiling, I crumpled and clutched at my head. Toya, are you okay? My head hurts. Oh God, my head's getting split open. Incomprehensible scenes pierced my eyelids from the inside like blades of light. Confession of the Golden Witch. I pray that this bottled letter never reaches another person's sight. If you're reading this, deliver me unto the punishment I deserve. This island is under a curse. It is an island of many irredeemable souls, corpses, and sins. Rukenshima. The Witch's Island. And in accordance with that witch's name, my life, too, is under a curse. I was raised in an orphanage and started working for the Ushiromiya family as a servant from a young age. There were many other servants from the same orphanage there, but I was by far the youngest, and I was often picked on for my comparative lack of ability. I knew we couldn't be friends, and I didn't want to bother trying. Instead, I interacted with imaginary friends of my own making. Whenever I paid attention to them, they were by my side in an instant. They laughed and cavorted to make things lively, sometimes causing trouble, sometimes consoling me. They were irreplaceable friends. Even on lonely nights, thanks to them, I had nothing to fear. Time continued to pass. And even though the servants changed, I still failed to befriend any of them. One night, I decided to play a prank. Yeah, with this, I can finally make Berune-san work harder. First, I took one key off of my keychain and threw it into Berune-san's locker. Then, I switched my ring with hers when she left them lying around. I wonder, was that going overboard? Whatever do you mean? I was just borrowing your body to teach Berune a mildly painful lesson. Now she will learn her place and fear me like she should. Yes, it's Berune-san's fault for not taking the job seriously. I just had the witch give her a bit of punishment for her actions. That's all this is. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Oh my, you've got an early morning tomorrow. Off to bed now. Oh, okay, it was Kumasawa. Oh, Kumasawa-san. Thank you for your help earlier. When I, broke the master's face. Earlier today, when I was playing around, I broke one of the master's precious vases, but Kumasawa-san covered the story up for me. Oh. Don't be silly. That was just the cat's doing, right? Right. The veteran worker Kumasawa-san, the head servant Genji-sama, and even the master's friend and occasional visitor Dr. Nanjo, they were all very kind to me for some reason. On some days I was firmly scolded, but they were always by my side. Genji-sama, who strictly taught me how a servant should behave, and Kumasawa-san, who fussed over me, we're almost like parents to someone like me, without anyone else in the world. Despite that, when it came to my innermost thoughts, I relied most on my imaginary friends. Will you guys hear me out? I found a dream to pursue. I want a family. I want to fall in love, get married, have kids, and create a real family. Well, 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 what a perfectly puny human dream that is. As a witch, I don't really get it. And eventually, I did fall in love. Yeah, so they're showing, like, a grown battler here because just limitation of sprites, but this is supposed to be, like, 12-year-old battler in the past when they're kids. Hey, long time no see! You're nothing like that tomboyish Jessica. You get cuter every time I see you, Shannon-chan.
Read any mystery novels lately? This was the best one I've found.
Thank you very much. I recently read all of Agatha Christie. He was the son of one of the Ushiromiya branch families. He was good-looking, a bit of a show-off, but he wasn't full of himself. He also had the same hobby that I did, and each time he visited for the family conference, he'd talk with me for hours. I didn't have any friends my age, so I suppose it was inevitable that I'd grow infatuated with a boy like him. When I was around him, I forgot all of the daily toil and pain. I dreamed of having more time to spend around him, and it seemed to me that he was more than a little attracted to me in return.
What's my type? Well, I'm not actually a big fan of the family-oriented type of girl. You see how crude I am, right? I just can't handle acting politely in front of girls, ladies first and all that stuff. So if I had to say what type I liked, well, I'd probably like a Jessica-ish girl. If I'm crude, why shouldn't she be too? It'd probably be just perfect to have a rough, relaxed relationship where we could mess around without worrying about gender and be rude with no worries. So if I ever get a girlfriend, I hope it's someone I can joke around with all the time. What would she look like? Can't say I'm care much either way. Well, if she did happen to be a glamorous woman, blonde and bouncy with blue eyes like in Western films, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Battler, for getting it in one more time, buddy.
You know, if the day comes that you give up your job and service, then come be with me. When that day comes, I'll ride up on a white horse to get you.
I felt my heart explode. Does that mean you'll be my Prince Charming on a white horse? You'll come and spirit me away from this island? Oh, how happy I could be if I lived with you. I wish I could be your wife. If I were with you, I know that my dream could come true. I'll do my best to become the ideal girl you envision, and as I wait for that day you come to take me away, I'll wait forever. We made a promise to meet again in the same spot 1 year later and parted ways. When we met again, we'd know for sure if it was meant to be. In waiting, I kept practicing, trying to shape myself into his ideal. But no matter how I waited, he did not return. I heard Battler-sama renounce the family name. Well, they say Asumu-sama's husband was cheating on her while she was still alive. I'd leave the family too. But Rudolph-sama's always been a womanizer. Didn't he sweep you off your feet once too, Hamechi? The years began to pass, and I reassured myself each time he would definitely return next year. Next year. As I waited, helpless for his return, I started to feel uneasy about my own body. Oh, Yasuda-san. I'm sorry, do you have a tampon I could use? I'm sorry. I still haven't... Oh, alright. Sorry. I still haven't had my period. All the other girls have had them by now. A male body, a female body. I don't... The shower water splashed on me as I thought to myself. He said that he prefers women with large breasts. Why aren't mine growing at all? Why am I the only one without a period? Is there something wrong with my body?
Aren't you still a middle schooler? When it comes to the moon's tide, some people only experience it once they enter high school.
I suppose.
With my magic, your breasts will soon be lush and voluptuous. By the time Battler returns, they'll be as plump and heavy as ripened fruit. What is it about the maiden's mind that worries so much about such trifling matters? What a bother it is.
I agree.
Exactly. You're worrying over nothing.
I am, right?
Beatrice-sama!
I turned to face her, and all I was greeted with was a mirror. When I saw it, a disgusting feeling towards the image reflecting there welled up inside of me. Without thinking, I smashed it with my fist. I hate mirrors for showing me how I truly look, because they steal my dreams from me. that me? That boyish, flat-chested thing with a tired face, tossed away by the one she liked, with no real friends or family to talk to, who just gloomily sits in her room talking to herself, living just by lying to herself. How shabby is that? Butler son, why won't you come back to me? Come back and save me. Come and take me away from this island, from this fate. Please! What did that promise even mean to you? Was I the only one getting my hopes up? Is there nothing left for me besides living alone and miserable? I want to die. If only I could forget you and my past and just live a different life. A different life. As I sobbed and wailed, an idea entered my head. I ran my fingers through my hair. What an outlandish thought. Such an absurd fantasy. A different life. Life as a boy.
This is Canon, our newest servant here at the mansion. I expect you to treat him well, everyone.
Sometime after that, I began acting as Canon. I thought that if I could find happiness as a boy, I could eventually phase out of my old life as Shannon. It couldn't happen all at once, of course. I had to split my time between Shannon and Canon. Kumasawa-san and Genji-san treated it as make-believe and played along. They covered for me and adjusted my work shifts.
It's so strange having a boy servant. Hey, do you want to have lunch with me?
Food tastes worse if the company is bad.
What?
He was silent, cold, and insulting when he spoke. I'm sure that's how boys were. Yes, Canon was the opposite of Shannon. I stayed out of the way of people and rarely talked. With only 2 or 3 servants working regularly at the island, and with the assistance of the older servants, no one would figure out my secret if I played my cards right. The strategy paid off in unexpected ways. Canon-kun was a way to exorcise my daily woes, while the witch within me lived out my mischievous side and my romantic feelings. And when I was myself, I could actually smile and be happy.
Yeah, another self within yourself. I wonder who said something about that to Canon at some point.
Time passed once more until... I believe it was when I was serving the master his meal.
It's hot! Hurry, some ice!
I felt the bowl of soup slip from my fingers, then the sensation of the hot liquid burning my legs. My leg.
We need to cool off the skin. Shannon-chan, take your socks off.
I removed my socks like Kumasawa-san commanded.
Yeah, Olive, I don't know that I would necessarily be watching this right now. But, I mean, it's your decision, but this is, yeah. This is like the end bonus material of a story that we've already gone through like hundreds of hours of.
In the moment, I would have had no way to know. But definitely, when I took off my socks, on my foot, he must have spotted. He's going to yell at me.
Master, I must ask to borrow your washroom.
Very well.
Kumasawa-san and I left for the washroom.
I apologize for that unsightly display. I shall have another dish brought at once. Genji, you... surely not. No. Never mind.
Huh? Master, what is...
I asked if you would like to try shooting these guns as well.
Isn't that wonderful, Shannon-san? Not even Ava-sama and her siblings are allowed to use the Master's guns. Don't you want to at least give it a try?
Yes, sir.
There really is a resemblance. To think a chance to atone would arise at this late hour. The vagaries of heaven.
I suppose, in retrospect, that these were the happiest times of my life. I grew closer to Milady Jessica, and rapidly became good friends with Maria-sama, too. We expanded our worlds together until we shared them. And orchestrated our very own world, just for the two of us. And then, I found a new love. Initially, it was a way to finally forget about my first love. And I did feel guilty that I was simply trying to replace someone else with him. But my time with him was so gentle and kind, and I loved that he treated me like a girl. Best of all, when he spoke of his ideal family, it overlapped with my own ideal. More and more, I found myself getting close to him. Perhaps it was just my figure that was destined to never fill out in that way. But even if it took a while, I was sure I could eventually bear children. And then I could build my future with George-san. Even though there was no chance that I could have a happy future.
November 29th, 1984. One second. Okay, sorry. Just had to get something real quick.
After a hint from Genji-san, I was grabbed by passion and resolved to challenge the riddle of the epitaph. With my experience reading mystery novels, I knew it could be solved and that I could solve it. I went about it, completely oblivious of what it truly meant to solve the epitaph. And in the end, it was nothing but me prying open the Pandora's box of my fate.
Forgive me, Beatrice. Leon, just once. Call me father, just once. I no longer have any regrets. He has passed away. I believe that meeting you at the end gave him an opportunity to clear his regrets. He must surely have been satisfied.
My true name is Ushiromiya Liam.
You are now the master of Rokenjima, and you possess the right to know all of its secrets. Please ask us anything, no matter what it may be.
You knew all along that I was the Master's child, didn't you? And also, that my mother was Beatrice. Huh? What does that mean? I don't understand. Are you saying... My mother had been the Beatrice held captive in Kuadorian, and was actually Kinzo's daughter, as well as my elder sister.
The master deeply regretted pushing his misguided love towards the deceased Beatrice-sama onto her. He regretted the tragic fate that he saddled you, the fruit of that union, with. So you see...
Wait a minute. So, I am Ushiromiya Kinzo's youngest child? Kraus-sama and the others are my older siblings? The child of the child he had with his lover? So, Milady and the others are my cousins and my nieces and nephews? Marrying second cousins is illegal. I have more of Ushiromiya Kinzo's blood than anyone else. Meaning, I was never supposed to be born.
After your mother died, Kinzo-san planned to introduce you into the family as a foster child.
Wait a second.
But Natsuhi-san, driven neurotic by her years of difficulty bearing a child,
My ears won't stop ringing.
pushed the servant who was carrying you off the edge of a cliff.
Please stop telling me this. Nothing good can come from this.
But still, you were exceedingly lucky. It seemed to me nothing short of a miracle. You suffered major lacerations on your lower abdomen and genital region. But you miraculously survived your injuries. Dr. Nacho did everything in his power to save your life. We were unable to save your poor mother, and for that we at least wanted you to live.
Why haven't I had my period? This flat, boyish body.
We hoped that even if you could not bear children, you would still be able to live a happy life.
A lie. It's a lie. This has to be a lie. I'm just Yasuda Sayo, an orphan. I'm not this Leon you speak of. You have the wrong person. It's not me. It can't be me.
No, you are indeed Leon-sama.
Can you prove that? Do you have proof that I am Leon?
Yes. On your foot is a scar left from an operation to treat your polydactyl. That alone is proof that within you flows the blood of the master. I suppose we were careless, and it left a scar.
No, but that's... Why? Why did you save me? Why didn't you let me die? Because of that terrible injury, I've been forced to live in a body like this. I never wanted to live in a body like this. This body that isn't even capable of love. What's the point in living like that? This isn't a human's life. It's like being furniture. That's right. I'm furniture. Furniture. Why? Why didn't you let me die back then? It's a lie that I can't have children. It's a lie that I'm a bastard. It's a lie that I'm related to you. It's a lie that I can't be happy with the person I love. Surely, from the very moment I was born, I was never given a chance for a happy life.
Jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez.
After the study, I returned to the gold room.
Happiness can never come to a human being charmed by a witch. Didn't you know that, furniture?
Happiness is a butterfly with the 5 pounds. Just here at this final juncture, our last hope must surely be that our beloved witch may sleep peacefully. PMV coming along pretty well, by the way. Oh, exciting to hear. And yeah, one must imagine Sayo Yasuda at peace. One would have to hope.
Your tears are my pre-dinner aperitif. Your romantic anguish a glorious hors d'oeuvre. Begone, foul witch.
Canon chivalrously stood between the witch and I, and turned to speak to me.
Nesan, we are furniture. Humans and furniture. Cannot fall in love. You need to tell George-sama as much. You mustn't try to get closer to anyone. As furniture, you have a furniture's life to uphold.
Canon-kun. The noise of the bell cut through the silence, briefly dispelling my internal conflict. Right. Work. It's time for my shift. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. It's so simple. Just by returning the mechanisms to how they were, I can just hide the gold I found. She shall bestow 4 treasures. What a joke. I gained that gold, but I lost everything else. I decided to live my life the same as I did before the incident. The solving of the epitaph, inheriting control of the family, and even the story of my birth. I kept it all a secret. I kept it a secret from all. I ordered Genji-san and the others to treat me the same as they always had. I was too frightened to reveal the truth. It felt almost as though admitting it out loud would only make my misery all the more real. No amount of gold could save me from my accursed fate. It was merely another source of pressure, compacting me, forcing me further inward. The master's death was tidily covered up by the others, as though the witch inside me had cast a spell to make it happen. Kraus-sama has a phenomenal amount of debt. Because of that, they claimed that they needed to delay the matter of the inheritance's distribution.
What an arrogant woman. She claims she's protecting the family honor, but she just wants to maintain the status quo. She's horrible, completely destroying any chance to properly mourn the patriarch she claims to respect. Ha! It's simply what he deserves for violating me so. Natsuhi-san pushed you over that cliff, right?
The days continued as they had done, even though my view of the world had been turned upside down on that day.
Is it just me, or has the smell around Gramps' study been extra weird lately? I wonder what he's researching in there.
He seems even more withdrawn than usual lately. His mood's often foul, so it's probably for the best that you attempt not to visit him in this study.
I'll have to ask Genji-sama about checking the freezer and adding more preservative.
I suppose so. I'll discuss purchasing a new freezer with Madam.
Genji-sama? Why are there so many skeletons underground?
Rokenjima was once a military base. The first Beatrice-sama arrived here on an Italian submarine. The sailors with her and the Japanese soldiers stationed here had a terrible battle, I was told.
The bones. They were gathered into one room. They were piled atop one another in a mess. Not organized into bodies, just bones wearing Italian and Japanese uniforms, all thrown together, like trash at a garbage dump. Why would the master abandon his comrades like that without honoring their deaths? Why did he hide them by building a mansion atop where they died? It's because he killed them all, didn't he? Also, he could have Beatrice and the gold to himself. Did he kill them and then move them there? Or did he... I shuddered in disgust. My body has this accursed blood running through its veins. Around the same time,
Hey, Shannon. What's up with you and George Nissan?
what's up?
The last time you came to this island, you two looked like you were getting along pretty well. Are you going out? Did you go on a date or something?
No, we're not really going out. He just came along on my shopping errand. It wasn't a date or...
Shut the hell up! That's totally a date! And you're going to say you two aren't going out? He's your boyfriend, right? Admit it, you're his girlfriend.
It's nothing as serious as boyfriend and girlfriend.
Really? No skipping ahead then. We have to get boyfriends at the same time. Jessica flopped onto her bed and began to toss and turn.
Say, Shannon. Yes?
You know how there's that servant boy, Kanon-kun? Are you, friends with him? Do you think he has a girlfriend?
I felt dizzy. Milady, have you ever spoken to him? At the delight of hearing of someone's attraction to me.
Only a little, but it always seems like he's never willing to give me the time of day.
That Kanon, the amalgamation of all my ugliness, the representation of my life as a boy in new possibilities, would actually be the target of someone's affections. Kanon-kun's always looking sadly into the distance. It makes me wonder about him.
I don't mean that I like him or anything, but I feel like if I could really talk to him, I might be able to help him enjoy life more.
It felt as though I'd been given permission to live. Yet, at the same time, I silently shivered with disgust at the Ushiramiya genes deep within me. I don't believe Kanon-kun has a girlfriend.
For real?
All he does is spend time alone. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you. Akinzo's blood flowing deep within my veins, happy about the affection bestowed upon me. The only people who love me are my own blood relatives. Time passed, and I told my truth to neither of them. Their attraction to me only grew deeper by the day.
This is what you need when you're feeling down. It's a mixtape of pick-me-up songs. Give it a listen if you want.
When I'm with you, I always find that I'm learning new emotions. You sent a gentle breeze through my heart. Shannon, I'm so glad I met you.
Can you see? Coming from someone who rejected everything they represented.
Thank you for being born.
How much bliss I experienced at being able to feel that I was loved. That it was okay for me to live.
Huh? I didn't mean to make you cry.
And this feeling rattled my determination to tell them the truth. When the prospect of an overnight vacation came up, I was a tad relieved. I was sure that even someone as weak-willed as myself would find a way to broach the topic. If George-san truly loved me, I hoped he would be able to accept me even after learning the truth. Sadly, I didn't find the resolution in the moment. Instead, he raised the topic of engagement. What should I do? I can't lie to him anymore. I have to tell George-san the truth. I'm sure that George-san will accept me.
Stop wasting your time with daydreams, furniture. Love is about sexual desire. Its worth can only be measured by bodies sharing physical passion. George will be so disappointed when he learns about your body and your birth. You cannot make his dreams come true. What makes you worthy of him? It is sinful for you to even imagine being with George.
But George-san is so faithful. his love for me wouldn't be broken by...
You dare claim that? If George is honest and faithful, then his love for you will fade when he realizes you betrayed and lied to him in order to leech affection you did not deserve. There are plenty who can take your place. He has no reason to choose you above them.
But I wanted to be loved too. I wanted to love someone. And it just so happened to be George's son. Is it a sin to even hope that I could experience love with George's son?
You want to be with the son of your sister? You have reason to hate Kinzo's sins, yet you are determined to repeat them. What will you do? Hide the truth and stay with George, knowing the ravaging, absolute despair that awaits you in the future? No one will allow the inheritor of a company to choose a life partner whose background is a complete mystery. And if your identity is known, then George may even be disinherited for his grievous decision. And you've not placed your entire soul into this bet. How can you possibly have the right to love George?
And
I love Milady Jessica.
Canon-kun, it was so painful having to reject her on that day. It hurt so much to hurt her. It felt like I was rejecting myself for being worthy of her affection. She's brighter than the sun for me, and she lights up my life. If I could be with her, then maybe I could live with my eyes looking forward. You're probably thinking that if George-sama rejects you, you've got Jessica to fall back on. But Jessica-sama isn't just a fallback for George-sama. I want to experience love too.
Jessica, an oblivious fool unaware of her family's true nature.
Then name yourself, Golden Witch. With your gold, you could solve all of this family's financial troubles.
You think so? It's not nearly that simple. If I reveal myself, those greedy rats will become obsessed and start to squabble. Only ruin will await you and Canon.
Stop. Just stop it!
It's the cursed Ushiramiya blood that has you trapped here. Your blood and you yourself. If you do not choose, you will never escape your suffering.
Choose? How am I meant to choose when suffering is a consequence of any of my choices? I was in the hardest possible place. I had to choose what I wanted to do with myself before the day of the family conference, when George-san would be giving me his ring. It was obvious that my life would change forever on that day. I must tell George-san everything. I'm certain he will accept me. I'll leave the island and abandon the me that is Canon and the me that is Beato. I will live a life as Sayo, where I am loved for being Sayo. I probably won't find the conventional happiness George-san desires, but I won't ask for much. If there is a true love between us...
Stay away from me.
You disgust me. You were lying to me all this time. Did you really think someone like you could marry me? How horrifying. Get out of my sight.
I rose from my nightmare with a jolt, my breathing heavy. After all, my true self had never been accepted by anyone before. No, George-san isn't that kind of person. He's not that kind of person. If I could avoid telling him the truth forever, then my happiness with him would last just as long. George-san, you will accept me for who I am, won't you? I believe in you. Please. Despite the nightmares that plagued me, that day drew ever closer. Shannon, are you even listening? I'm so sorry, madam. I assigned you to clean the entry hall. The family conference is approaching, so it must be done thoroughly and properly, as I said earlier. Butler-kun will be attending the family conference for the first time in 6 years. Begin your preparations at once.
Actually, to your point, Nozo, and very sadly, Ryukishi actually has commented on that, and he said that if Sayo revealed the truth to George, he would have understood and he would have been supportive of her.
Too bad! As I cleaned the hall, my emotions from 6 years ago welled back up inside me. Battler-san's coming back. He didn't forget his promise after all. Battler-san's coming back. He's coming to get me at last. When life is hardest for me, he's going to show up and save me from the hell of my fate. And this time I'll be Battler-san's wife for good. I love Battler-san more than anyone else in the world. Please, go away. You were my first love. I parted ways with you. Battler-san isn't coming back for me now. He never so much as sent me a letter. There's no way he remembers a childish promise like that. You doubt Battler-san? Even though you love him? The only person on my mind now is George-san. Liar.
Okay, Logan, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant by accept.
I can hear us howling in pain. What use is there in trying to hide it? You awaited Battler's return the longest, and now you rejoice more than any other. What excellent timing. Will you use him as a backup plan for when George rejects you? Or will you give up and switch to Battler now? Yes, I nearly forgot. Regardless of your choice, you're the owner of a ruined body. Unable to love another! I felt as though I was a spider, foolishly trapped in my own thread, struggling wildly. I was always thriving, writhing and twisting, attempting to escape my fate. I cursed my fate. I cursed the world. When my inescapable fate had finally tangled me so tightly I felt fit to suffocate, I realized I was the one creating those threads in the first place. If instead of trying to escape my fate, I had chosen sooner to stand up and actively decide my own life, would it perhaps never have come to this day? But I no longer had the strength to struggle directly against my fate. I hate this. I can't. I just want to be at rest.
Digimaniac33 with the $10. Okay, I gotta give props for the excellent choice to drop the radio filter during Beato's speech at the moment you did, and for general phenomenal use of the radio filter. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't want to live in this body anymore. If only I could make it so that it all never happened. Oh, how good that would be. If I could live in a world without troubles, where I could just laugh with the people I love. How good that would be. This is all because of this body of mine. I cannot go anywhere. I cannot be happy. If only I could be free from this cage of flesh that I inhabit, and my soul could be united with everyone else's. But it's so simple, for I am now Beatrice, the master of Rokenjima. Using these explosives, I can take this island and return it to the Golden Land. I have the power to do that. They must have been prepared to blow up the whole island rather than let it be taken. All that's left is to find out if they still work. I will carry it out on the day of the family conference. Dr. Nanjo, Kumasawa-san, as the family head, I have a request to make of you. We would do anything for you, dear.
We don't need any gold. For as much as you have suffered in life, we only want you to be happy.
Oh, a pretend murder?
Of course we'll play along.
Genji-san, you are my faithful furniture, are you not?
Indeed.
And you will carry out any order I give you. As family head, I can do whatever I want with the island and the people on it.
You can.
Even if I said I wanted to commit suicide with the rest of the family?
Even then, it was my fault that you were placed under such incredible pressure in the first place. I, Genji, will serve you until the very end.
Thank you. Rule X. Different accomplices each time. All of the adults are in need of money. Buying their cooperation is easy. Rule Y. Any lies agreed upon by the majority are depicted as reality. Even better when it comes to constructing closed rooms. Those who see golden butterflies are either on the culprit side or dead. Those who have not been bought off will not see butterflies until 30 minutes before their death. From that point, I wrote murder plans as though I had gone insane. What would the best future be? What kind of ending would satisfy me most? I wrote infinite stories of October 4th and 5th, embellished with magic and fantasy. I was used to imaginary roleplay. I wasn't just drawing up a criminal plan. It felt like parallel worlds of the hypothetical crime. It felt like my soul was leaving my body and experiencing those worlds as I devised them. Die. 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 The act of infinitely killing my relatives began to give me a dark sense of satisfaction. Die. 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 Ushiromiya Kinzo, the source of this chain of misery, this accursed blood and all sin. You do not have the right to sleep in peace. I suppose it would be your desire to assist Beatrice even after your death. Die. Everyone who inherited the chain of misery from you ought to die. Kraus chained by his hatred and violence towards his siblings. Natsuhi, who cast my fate into madness. Die. Eva and Hideyoshi resisted my future with George. Die. Rudolph and Kyrie, the reason that Battler-san did not return. Die. Rosa, who abused Maria-sama. Die! Genji, Kumasawa, and Nanjo, Kinzo's accomplices, who indirectly allowed this to happen. Die! Goda, who attempted to work with Natsuhi for his own selfish greed. Die! All of them. All of them. Let all of the Ushiromiya name and those who align with them be brought to an end. They made their sinful livings preying on others, cheating them out of money. It was only a matter of time until their downfall. Once one family lost their footing, they would dredge up the other's past crimes, bringing them all down together. Even if they lived through the 1986 family conference, there is no happy future for them. This family was born from Kinzo's sins, and is accursed gold. That is their fate, and karma will do its work. No flowers can bloom from rotted roots. So come and die together with me. Then none of us will have to suffer anymore. The scenario: sacrificial murders carried out by a witch. The truth: a planned suicide of the entire family. The gold ingots, as well as cash cards and PIN numbers for bank accounts with the liquidated gold, should make it very easy to manipulate the adults. Kraus and Natsuhi have many problems. They'll be willing pawns. I can hide my identity, let them see the gold, and threaten that I'll reveal their cover-up of Kinzo's death, or kill Jessica. But Natsuhi is quick-tempered, and might give it away. She might not make a good accomplice. It might be more enjoyable to keep her in the dark and watch her freak out instead. Eva and Hideyoshi will be easy to buy off too if I use George as bait. They're both easy to read, soft on their immediate family, but quick to leave the others to the wayside. They're almost perfect pawns for my scheme. If I can buy off Rudolph, Kyrie, or Ava, I may be able to have them carry out the murders. Kyrie may be tricky, however, as she is quite wary. If I can't get Rudolph and Kyrie on my side, I should get rid of them as quickly as possible. I'm not sure if Maria's life will convince Rosa to bargain, but the gold will surely soften her up. And a petty villain like Goda should be easily bribed and made into a valuable member of a secret agreement. The one with the most value as a pawn is Maria. She adores the witch and will listen to anything I tell her. A taste of truth will lie in the words of a true believer like her. She will surely confuse the others, as well as make the presence of the witch all the more real. Yes, Maria is the most precious accomplice to me, whom I promise to take to the Golden Land. Her eternal sleep must be peaceful and undisturbed by anyone else. Genji, Nanjo, and Kumasawa know that they owe me and will be faithful agents to my cause. As longtime confidants to the family, their allegiance will be a huge advantage. Nanjo in particular can declare people dead when they're faking. And provide any chemicals or poisons required for the crime. It's a common trope for the doctor to be involved in the killing, but there's value in following old customs. If I buy someone off with the claim that the deaths will be faked, they'll be rattled if they see a real body. In that case, I can simply claim that it was a high-quality mannequin, prepared in advance, or even say that someone else is actually killing people. If it proves to be too inconvenient, I can simply kill them. There are already a great number of guns on the island. If I hide some in particular places throughout the mansion, there will be no need to carry one around at all times. Kinzo's collection of stakes and sawed-off shotguns will allow for gruesome disfigurement of the bodies, hiding any bullet holes. Remove the switchboard, and the phones won't work. All the power and means of communication are under my control. All of it caused by Beatrice, all happening in the palm of my hand as ruler of the family. Everyone on the island lives or dies at my decision. With the magic of the gold, I can even control their minds. I will craft entire worlds with just 16 pawns, over and over. With my magic, I can craft any number of fragments within the world of October 4th and 5th. An infinity of possible ifs. Endless fragments created within the catbox of October 4th and 5th. Or perhaps there's an infinite number of parallel worlds inside that catbox that I'm simply peering into. The plan doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it's precise, sometimes it's loose. Let it be hit or miss. If I get cornered, I can just kill them, because I've abandoned my choice. So regardless of development or outcome, I will always be satisfied. Like a kaleidoscope. What will the next roulette spin turn up? Who are my accomplices? Who is a victim? And thus a new fragment is born. What fragment shall I examine? What fragment shall I create? This is wonderful. My magic is unfathomable. I finally become a real witch. This is a level of overhead view that humans cannot reach. This is my realm. You claim that you're a witch? When I'd made my declaration, a high-pitched voice that I had never heard before answered it and cackled at me. That's right.
I am already a witch. But in order to prove that I've transcended the human plane of existence, I will need a being on a higher plane than mine to observe and verify it. If you would happen to be such a being, please turn me into a witch.
Our Habaki Gaming with the $5. Wonderful tale, Beatrice. What will you call this tale? Legend of the Golden Witch? Umineko? Interesting. I sure hope it won't get too long.
Well...
And if I say no?
then I will just have to convince you. I am already a witch, regardless of whether or not anyone agrees.
Us witches are those released, cast adrift from the physical human plane to walk between the fragments. And even beyond us are omniscient, all-powerful creators, gods, free from all restrictions whatsoever. You humans are nothing but twigs and leaves at the whim of the fate that we create for you. And now you, a mere leaf, claims to stand among our number.
The other witch's face contorted into a devilish grin.
I haven't been this excited since the one who swore to me that she would become a god. I like you.
You and your magical system.
Despite being a mere human in form, you sent your mind to this plane and claimed territory for yourself. Your catbox has perfect, endless possibilities. Ah, yes. For how long will you stave off my boredom? Very well, then. In the name of Lambda Delta, Witch of Certainty, I will accept you as a witch. As long as your absolute certain world remains absolute, I will be your eternal guardian and sponsor. Then I shall ride an endless slaughter of October 4th and 5th, until I am entirely satisfied.
The deadline is midnight on October 5th. At that moment, 900 tons of explosives will blow up the entire island. Now go ahead.
And try to stop me!
The adults will most likely gather in one place until late into the night of the 4th for the conference. Killing them will be easy. I can throw the bodies into the storehouse, where I'll have already drawn a magic circle. A sawed-off rifle will blow off half their faces without leaving an obvious bullet wound. Of course, the quickest way to kill them would be to poison the wine they toast with. Making the first Twilight as ghastly and occult as possible, or making it seem like an impossible crime, will draw his interest and get him to try solving it. Killing Shannon or Canon early will make moving around much easier. Of course, it may also be fun to appear in the flesh as the living Beatrice. I have the master keys of both Shannon and Canon. Which should allow for the execution of impossible closed-room murders. In fact, there's a closed-room idea I'm very proud of. Starting from room 2, I'll lock each room with a body and key to the room before it inside. I'll put the key to room 6 in room 1 and leave the door unlocked. And then, I'll go into room 6, lock it from the inside, and play dead. The point is to make room 1 the farthest and most difficult room to find. Room 6 will be easy to spot. In that room, I might make it easy to break the seal through a window from the outside, for example. The Discoverer will easily get into room 6 through the broken window and find the key to 5, guiding them backwards from the actual loop. While that's happening, I can escape through the broken window, go into room 1, lock it from the inside, and play dead again. Nanjo's cooperation will be vital, but it's worth trying out. Of course, I could also lock the door and commit suicide, thus sealing the room. That's a method I've read about in some book. tying up the gun with a wire and using the recoil of the shot to knock it behind the furniture and hide the weapon, that kind of thing. I could even leave a sacrificial stake nearby. That way, even after I die, the witch's illusion will remain. I could also put a false tag on a fake key and leave it in the room. Locking it from the outside with the real key would make them think it was a perfect closed-room murder. No one apart from the other servants would be able to tell the difference. All of these tricks I've come up with. Which of them should I test out? But I don't need to go through all these laborious methods when I have the golden magic spell of matching stories. With my magic.
Sam, yes, episode 3 was written by Toya, but I just take this as, like, she came up with some of these tricks independently on her own. There just happened to be some overlap with how Toya wrote those episodes in the future. It's not precisely those episodes that she's writing, it's just that she's coming up with similar tricks.
With my magic, I can pull off any closed room trick. Any trick of disappearing corpses. Any impossible crime. And frame anyone I want. What should come next? Orthodox mystery? Ghastly horror? How will my pawns carry out my moves? Shall I carry out the plan myself without accomplices at times? Should I turn nearly all of them into accomplices in a fake murder plot? I could perhaps test them, to see if they're truly up to my expectations.
Thank you, my loved ones. Thank you for loving me, despite myself. You will be with me forever, when we're nothing but souls. You would give up your lives for my sake, wouldn't you? Hot, wet tears dripped onto the page. My hand quivered to a stop. Should I be doing this? This horrible, awful thing? Should I really? Taking down those I love with me, along with their families? Is that what I want? Is this going to make anything right? I turned away from the page, and all I was greeted with was a mirror, and all that was reflected was my pathetic, sobbing face. Of course not. This can never be right. I want the people I love to live. And the truth is, if possible, I want to live and be happy.
Is that so? Even at this late hour, you still believe there's a chance you can be happy? Furniture! Of course, I decided this was the only way. Therefore, I cannot stop myself. Only someone else can. Rule Z.
Someone, please stop me. I won't pray for absolute certainty. I want you to solve it, so I won't put too much pressure on you. Winning by killing everyone, or losing by having my mystery solved, are both outcomes I desire. Genzo claimed that solving the epitaph would take a miracle, that it was a bet, that harbored the magic of miracles. That someone would solve the epitaph and find this room, and switch off the bomb, so it would survive. I decided to make that bet. And if someone I loved solved the epitaph and took the headship from me, then I would submit to that miracle, erase my other loves, and dedicate myself wholly to that person. I would stop the murders and admit to my crimes. That way, no matter the outcome, I could accept it and work with it. That must be my punishment. And you'll solve it, won't you? You'll realize that I'm the culprit, and you'll stop me, won't you?
October 3rd, 1986.
I dumped all the bottles into the ocean. If such a wish can't come true, then let us all be happy in the Golden Land. All of the bottled messages are designed so that if you follow the rules, you can always determine the culprit. So each and every bottle is a confession of my sins, my penance for my sins that cannot go unwritten. As a meager apology to those left behind, I've sent you a tiny little golden land of my own, though I know that this is not enough to earn your forgiveness. Once I have Maria-sama read out the invitation she learned by heart to the rest of the family, the night of slaughter will begin in earnest. Everything after that is up to the whims of the roulette wheel. By the time the clock rings midnight on October 5th, we will all be ushered into a world free of earthly suffering. I
And the Great Witch of Rokenjima, Beatrice, please, bring an end to this chain of accursed blood and misery. And if it is permitted, may I be blessed with the miracle of laughing and smiling with the one I love. When the seagulls cry.
Afterward. Thank you for enjoying Confession of the Golden Witch. If you enjoyed this tale, I implore you to read the Twilight of the Golden Witch manga by NezumiVA. As grateful as I am for the help of Archie Forsayo's custom sprites, there is a myriad of beautiful pieces of art that this format could not do justice. Once you return to the title screen, you may start the game and experience 2 new stories, Abuse of Power and Cage of Obligations. The latter story follows the manga version of Confession, taking place after a certain major scene involving a certain someone in the Golden Land in Episode 8, bridging the gap between the information revealed in Confession and the events of the rest of the episode. Don't read it if you're not sure what I mean. The former one, you can read that one whenever, which means that we're not going to. We're not going to be reading that one. But, I have to switch our windows now because, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to continue with the original art for this section, there is a little bit added to the version that has the PS3 sprites in it. There's, like, more in it than this version of the EXE has. So we're going to switch over to that real quick so we can get that extra content as we continue forward. So give me just 2 seconds to swap the games and we will get back to it. But yeah, I'm glad. I agree with Digimaniac. I'm glad that we got to have the OG sprites on one of these streams for once. Okay, let me switch over the game window real quick. Oh, it appeared by itself. Well, I need to adjust the actual window itself. 1 second. Okay, that should be good there. And then let me adjust the full screen version real quick. Okay, there we go. That should work. Oh yeah, I can also adjust the chat window now. Well, actually, I'll keep it the way it is for right now for something later. Anywho. But, yeah. So, the Cage of Obligations Following an unwanted truth, the young girl despairs. An alternate view of a familiar scene. No more questions are being asked, but this is quite difficult for us. A pair of hair accessories, as well as various featureless lumps of flesh and meat, aimlessly drifted along the waves of the sea of nothingness. Slowly but surely, that lump of flesh began to remember itself from the very beginning. I really like the VN version of this scene, but the manga version of this scene is a marked improvement. I'm really glad that they put this in here. This is one of my favorite scenes in the manga.
It seems suited to Father's personality, but giving such a talisman to a baby girl like that is just... Apparently it's meant to ward off evil spirits.
Yes, Anjay, I know that it's scary. I'm so sorry, Natsuhine-san. The crying must be giving you a headache. It's quite alright. It reminds me of when Jessica was a baby.
Aw, I wish we had a baby girl of our own.
Even when she's crying, she's just as much of an angel as her name.
Look, Mama, I cut you some flowers.
Maria, where did you... I'm so sorry, Nissan.
Don't worry, the roses will grow back.
Look, Mama, you're like a princess.
Ah, this girl.
Here, a flower for Anjay, too.
You look so fashionable, Anjay. That's my little sister.
Well, I am the lady of the Shiramiya house. Oni-chan, will you live at home with us now? Anjay wants you to be here. Anjay wants everyone to be together.
Anjay. Anjay! Thank goodness.
I could feel my body being lifted up firmly and hugged roughly. Mom and Dad were hugging me. My eyelids have been open for a while now. I could feel the light slowly returning to my eyes. Just like when your eyes get used to the dark, my eyes got used to the light, and bit by bit, the scene around me came into view. However, it was an unusual sight, which seemed to be very far away. My body was being hugged by Dad and Mom. Dad was sniffling, his face covered with tears. There were tears in Mom's eyes too as she held me tight. It was so strong that it hurt a bit. As my eyes adjusted, I could see other people besides my parents. Everyone was there. George Oni-chan, Jessica One-chan, Maria One-chan. My uncles and aunts. Even Sakutaro. And there was the witch, Virgilia, and Ronove, and... Where?
You were quite fortunate. By chance, we found you drifting in the waves of the Sea of Nothingness. You were in a terrible state. It took quite some time to make you remember your true form.
Beatrice. So... this is...
The Golden Land. Your whole family has been waiting here for you to return.
We knew you would come home. Did I come home because I was supposed to? I've gone back to how I'm supposed to be, and now...
No. You did come home.
That's right. You made it back here because you wanted to come back to us. Dad. Mom. As Mom and Dad drew closer for another embrace, my mind was filled with horrifying images. They were reflections of the inside of that book. At that moment, I pushed Mom and Dad away from me and fell backwards onto the ground, clutching my head.
Anje. So you've learned it. The single truth.
Mom and Dad's faces darkened. As did Aunt Ava's. However, Beato's eyes only widened in shock.
Anje. That red fragment you have. It couldn't be.
It all just flowed into me at once while my mind was scattered. That horrible, shitty confession of yours.
I see. For it to wind up with you of all people. The goddess of fate must truly hate me.
I just don't get it anymore. What am I supposed to believe in? What am I supposed to hate? What am I supposed to do?
Anje-chan. Why are you so confused? If you've seen it, then you must understand. And I am the one you ought to hate. It is my fault. I stole your family from you. I stole your family from you. As well as the future from your family.
What is that, a joke? You're gonna tell me that it was a witch after all? That it was all a witch's fault and nobody's to blame? I am speaking to you as the human culprit.
I was the one who created that tragedy. I would have killed everyone regardless of how it ended. In countless fragments, I took their lives. In that particular outcome, I plotted a murder-suicide. I led the adults on. And enticed them to fight amongst themselves. I took the lives of all the others for my own personal reasons. If I had not set up that plan, that tragedy would not have occurred. I think I could have saved their lives. If I truly mourned the world, I could have died alone. If I died,
would he cry over me? I'm sure he would cry until his tears dried completely. And then
he would eventually move on with someone else, as if none of it had ever happened. I don't want that.
I don't want him to go to anyone else.
If I had cared for everyone, I could have chosen to take something so dangerous, that seed of all conflict, and destroyed it or thrown it into the sea. As the master of that room, that was my right. That alone could have saved everyone. And yet, I did not do that. At the time, I never even noticed that it was amongst the options I had. I did not try to see it or think of it. Because I had taken all my options, all my futures, and cast them aside. It's funny. This entire time, I believed that happiness was something that only God or other people could give you. I was always passive, indulging myself in fantasy. I ran from reality and chose to live in false happiness. I ran. And ran. And because all I did was run, nothing in reality ever changed. I chose this to be my final escape. So listen, Anje. If I had lived in this body, I could have experienced untold happiness. Had I searched for an option that I was unable to see, if I had been able to live in reality, if instead of clinging to fear, I had reached out on my own, I think I too would have been able to find a completely different outcome. Perhaps I could have grasped that moment when I found that living might not be so bad after all.
Beato continued to speak, clenching her own hands.
Indeed, the possibilities were truly endless. But by doing nothing, I pretended they didn't exist. All I did was close off the future. I crushed that possibility with my own hands. In my own selfishness, I dragged everyone's futures along with me into that dead end.
Menlo with the $2. Would transitioning have saved me? I mean, I think maybe not, because she already did, but in a manner of speaking.
I don't ask for your forgiveness. Hate me if you must. You have the right to despise me for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, Anje. And you too, my one-winged family.
I continued to wail, hitting at Beato's chest.
Anje, don't be mean to Beato.
It's all right.
As I continued to sob, no noise was heard in the garden except for the rain hitting the ground. Until... Father?
Beatrice, I will not allow you to place all the weight on your shoulders alone. All of these sins have roots in my mistakes. Begging for forgiveness from the dead will not wipe clean my sin and its effects on my family. It was I who set Beatrice on this thorny path. This outcome is a product of my mistakes.
Kinzo, you.
And I think many of the others agree. That may be true, but if I had been a better friend, able to call you out on your mistakes. And I am to blame that Beatrice-sama was unable to be saved from her thorny destiny. I was aware of everything, so I should have protected her and guided her, even if it violated my oath as a servant.
And I was the one who taught her magic as a child. As a mother, it's my responsibility for giving her the means to hide from the things that she did not want to see. You, all of you.
That's right. There isn't even any room for excuses. We're sorry for not being parents you could be proud of, aren't you? Regardless of whether we were goaded into it, threatened into it, or bribed into it, our sins fed into this outcome. If we'd have been more concerned with being the type of folks who could stand tall and be proud for you, then it wouldn't have come to this, aren't you, Chan?
If Maria had been a better girl, could she have gotten along better with Mama?
No, dear. Rosa gently embraced Maria. It was my fault. I should have accepted you for who you are.
Criminal Sin with the $20. Just dropping in to say hi. Love your work as always. Thank you.
I think if I'd paid more attention to my girlfriend, if I hadn't been afraid whenever I saw those eyes that seemed to want to tell me something, if I had not spoken of dreams just to avoid looking at those eyes, if I'd been a stronger man who she could have trusted and relied on, then maybe I could have saved her.
Same here. If I'd been a better friend that Shannon could have opened her heart up to. Because I think what it comes down to is that she wound up in that dead end because of the mistakes and missed opportunities around us. That sin, piling atop sin, building itself up like the bars of a cage, all mixed up and muddy until there was no escape. Yeah, I think I get it. That tragedy wasn't the fault of any single person. It was the karma of this entire family, all tangled together. A predestined fate. If everyone had been able to choose the option they couldn't see, as Beato said, and removed that cage around us, then a different future would have been possible. And though that never could have come true, no, maybe because of that, Oni-chan wanted to show me those sweet dreams inside the cat box.
How ironic that we should only realize that at this late juncture.
It's because we're here. Here in the Golden Land, without any constraints. We're finally able to admit our wrongdoings and forgive.
Perhaps it would have been beyond us, but I would have liked for that to have come true while we still lived, so that we could have seen that future. Anje, surviving those 12 years must have been painful. Even after all this time, the chain of misery that we bore continues to bind and torment you. You once said you were a ghost, living off of idle fantasies, that you had no use for a life in a future where no one came back for you. And you are just like me. So listen to me. It may plunge you into the depths of agony again, but listen to me. You must live, Anje. Laugh and love and experience all of the things that will move your heart. If there is no happiness in reality, then find and create your own. Live in order to make reality shine brighter. Because the place you reach when you flee from reality contains neither happiness nor future. At the very end, you may have faced the truth head on. So stay alive and seize your happiness. Anje.
The thing that really gets me about the panel in the manga for this bit too is like Anje is literally like leaning into Beato's chest and like practically hugging her while she's sobbing here. It's a really good moment. You see why I think that's such a good addition to the story. It really, really helps.
I'm sorry, Aunt Eva. For you, having me of all people as your adopted daughter. I assume it must have been hell. And by not opening up about it even at the very end, you were just trying to protect me. You were always my strongest ally.
I'm not a noble person like that. I did it all out of self-preservation, drowning in my own sorrow, and ended up not fulfilling any of my promises.
But you did raise me. Had I not chosen the wrong path on that day, we might have been able to build a new future together.
Anje-chan.
I'm sorry, and thank you, my second mother. The two of them hugged each other quietly, burying their faces in the other's shoulders and sobbing for quite some time. Battler stood alone in the rose garden maze, letting the rain quietly fall on him. After searching for some time, Anje found him. Is he angry? I went against his directions and ended up reading the book. Battler, Oni-chan.
Hey.
Battler patted Anje gently on the head.
I was never trying to force your decision. Seems like my game failed to make its point. Because regardless of if you take a peek into that diary, I have no rights whatsoever to blame you. Erica and even Beato told me.
Who was it that told me I should just write a letter saying I like you? If you don't say anything to her, I will. Actually, I have something I want, something to tell her as myself. What Anje wants is neither consolation nor trickery. She wants the truth concerning us all. Live.
Yeah, Beato's words had quite an impact on me. I get the point now, but I'd have liked for you to say it more directly. But maybe that's just me being a girl.
Hey, quit pretending to be an adult all of a sudden.
This game of yours.
What kind of brother would willingly show the ugly side of their family to his sister? I thought that if I made it seem as if the negative points about our family were just their image in society, I could wipe away the image you had on your mind.
Yeah, so that's why I was so cut down.
I was never trying to hide the truth or plaster everything with illusions, even though there was never any Halloween party that day.
Yeah. What he prepared for me.
If everyone hadn't been tied down by such heavy shackles, we could have all have smiled like that.
It was a game close to heaven, called the Golden Land.
All of that's part of their true forms as well.
Yeah, I remembered all of that as well. It was a gloomy and scary family, but there were also days you all made me smile, and when we all smiled together. We're neither pure villains nor saints. You were just my family, with a lot of thoughts and problems of your own. It's not like I've completely forgiven Beato yet, but I understand her. She too was a victim, and in a certain way, so was grandfather. His life was screwed up by the elders, and you could call him a victim of that. All of you lived with all of this twilight in your hearts, and if the result of the chain of misfortune in this family was that fateful October 4th and 5th, then I want to understand all of them, as one of them. This is my first step in cutting this chain of misfortune. I finally feel like facing you all, not as culprits or victims, but as my family. Thank you, Oni-chan.
We're all already dead.
Yeah,
You learned that when you saw the single truth. That means the source of your life these past 12 years, the hope that someone may still be alive, is completely gone.
yes.
I'm sorry for not being able to come home.
Yeah.
When I reached the truth of Beato's game, and when I understood the nature of the cat box that enveloped us, I knew that I couldn't go home and live by your side.
Yeah.
But I also knew that telling you would mean robbing you of your hope, so I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah. I know.
I don't exist in the future. But I will always be behind you, protecting you. Because I wish for your happiness, together with all the others. What will you do now?
To tell the truth, I have no idea yet. I know that I have to live, especially now that I've heard everyone's thoughts. But it's not like there's anything I want to do with my life. I live just to learn the single truth. And now that I know it, I have no goal.
Then how about...
Yeah, dude, you had to get one of those fucking jokes in before the end. I knew that was coming.
I was started by putting one of those big titty puddings in front of my grave. Ha 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 ha.
What? Do you honestly want to make a young girl do something like that? Just go back to making fun of my hair.
Well, sometimes it's just nice to live while searching for something you want to do.
What I don't want to do is keep lamenting the fact that it might have been better for me not to know the truth. In the end, I learned it. Another thing. What happened to the Book of the Single Truth? I gave the key to Bernkastel, and then...
Well, according to the program schedule, the final convention for the Rokenjima Mystery for guests and goats should be happening right about now.
Lambda Delta appeared, nonchalantly munching popcorn.
Since they wanted to present all the illusions before opening the cat box, we should be heading for the climax right now, right? If it's over, then the long-awaited opening of the Book of the Single Truth has finally come.
Lambda Delta!
Both the key and the book are in Bernkastel's hands. Doesn't that mean the book could be opened any moment now?
I was completely fixated on Aunt Ava being the culprit. That's why I wanted to make it public, so that I could have my revenge by revealing her sins.
2K plays with the $100. Holy shit. This reading has been such a joy to sit in on. Thanks for being a great storyteller. Sad I can't do Higurashi, but needles phobia. Yeah, understandable. Finally, you yelling "my apes" in Krause's voice will live in my head forever. Thank you so much. Holy shit, that is super generous. I really, really appreciate that.
But now that I know the truth, there's no reason to do that. Even if it was made public, there's no one who stands to gain from that. I have to go back to the City of Books. Bernkastel forgot to take this back when she
threw me away. It's just the typo threw me off.
Anjay fished through her pocket and pulled out a bell with a blue ribbon tied to it.
Oh, so you've got a temporary entrance pass instead of an invitation. With that, at least one person can enter. Well, if someone were to send you through the Sea of Fragments, that is.
I'll go. I'll stop the Book of the Single Truth from being made public. Please send me there, Lambda Delta.
Oni-chan!
I don't really care which one of you goes, but are you really sure? Right now, you're just a ghost, being given a momentary existence within Beato's cat box, as well as the spirit body of a human who's a half-baked witch that lost Bird's protection. The City of Books is a pandemonium, a hotbed of monsters amongst monsters. For them, your bug's even smaller than flies. They'll just smack you, turn you into a gooey mess, and that'll be game over for you.
That may be so, but what's to be gained from standing around here? If the Single Truth is made public and the cat box is opened, we'll be like that anyway. No, this is even worse than that. This is about Anjay's future. If that truth is made public, then people will question Anjay even more than before. If she's surrounded by that, even after she finally decided to live, then she might end up turning back on that. I'll protect the future where Anjay strives to live. That's my final duty as her Oni-chan.
No, I'll go. I'm not placing this responsibility on you anymore. I'll take responsibility for the seeds I've sown.
Let go of the bell, Anjay, and let me have at least one last chance to be cool.
No, this is my duty. I was the one who gave the book and the key to Bernkastel. This is where I draw the line.
Which one would I have to take along for the most entertaining development? The Golden Land's already surrounded by the naval fleet, and there's no way to run. It's a one-sided game where Byrne can destroy everything whenever she pleases. If everyone's just sitting around waiting to be destroyed, then it might be fun to make an attempt to take back the Book of the Single Truth. Anywho, Regardless of who I take, there should be a chance for me to sneak out, but it's not like I wouldn't make enemies with that. The most interesting ones are clearly Battler and Anje. It's just about who would weave the most dramatic tale now. But the constant jingling's really pissing me off. Can't these two get along? I can't even think straight like this. Stop, you two! Just stop!
We're trying to have a brother-sister discussion over here.
Just stop and let go of each other. Battler has the bell, right? Try jumping.
Battler jumped, and a jingling sound could be heard from his pocket.
No, Anje, you try jumping.
Anje jumped, and a jingling sound could also be heard from her pocket.
What? Why me too? I only received one. Huh?
Anje reached into her pocket, and there was, without a doubt, a bell in there.
I wouldn't know why. What matters is that you two both have permission to enter now. If there's two of them, that you have no reason to fight with each other. This game has always been for you two's sake, so just go already and bring an end to it together.
Lambda Delta.
Alright already. I'll take you to the city of books, alright? I'm only gonna be watching on the sidelines to see how you fight and beat Burn Black and Blue, alright?
Lambda Delta. Thank you.
You're going, Anje?
Everyone.
Don't forget, no matter what kind of ending you weave, we are always at your side.
I turned back and nodded in response. Yeah, I won't let this game created from the truth of everyone's hearts ever be denied.
No, we're not going to see the fight here, too. They're just going to skip ahead. Because we have one last thing. It's kind of a retread of a previous scene, but there's more added on to it. So let's just get to this final bit. And then after we finish this bit, we will take our little BRB as I prepare the palate cleanser. When the seagulls cry. Good evening. Waking up from a nightmare, the girl finds herself in a room full of bodies. The difficulty level is non-existent. After all, this is the truth. October 5th, 1986. From the moment she explained about the bomb, the entire notion of playing nicely vanished from this island, and you failed to notice. At this point, we either seize our billion yen, or we die trying. That's it.
What about Battler?
If you can't convince Battler-kun,
Then I'm sorry, but I'm not taking any chances.
my eyes opened wide. The mechanical sound of the clock was the first thing I heard upon waking up. What time is it? Where am I? I'm alive? Why? I was definitely shot. My shoulder? No, the collarbone. Is it broken? Did Kyrie end up with a gun loaded with blanks that I mixed in? The damage is on my collarbone, and quite a big one that I'm biting open my lip. I'm alive. In this chamber full of corpses. If you can't convince Battler-kun, then I'm sorry, but I'm not taking any chances. It's likely all over already anyway. I lost when the epitaph was solved. Now they'll murder anyone who stands between them and the gold. Even all of those are so precious to me.
Even all those who are, I would imagine.
I took the head's ring off my finger and threw it against the floor before rushing out of the room. I won't let them die. I won't let them die. I won't let them die. The gambling is over. Nobody has to die anymore. Live. George, son. I covered my face with the palm of my hand, letting out the tears that welled up in my eyes. The ring that he gave me touched my face, reminding me of the love I felt for him.
I swear that I will continue loving you for all my life.
I have to go. I clasped his hand in mine for the very last time before running away. Hurry. They won't show any mercy. Battler's son and the others might already be in danger. Lady. Where are you, Battler's son? Even you. Maria! Did we pass by each other somewhere? Or might you already be Butler's son? My strength was starting to slowly fade away as the pain intensified. I couldn't walk properly without using a tree as a support. But nevertheless, I kept walking with all my strength to find Battler's son. I went back down the stairs, towards the place where I should have met my end. The door of the gold room was slightly ajar. And as I opened it, Battler was standing there, looking down on the corpse-riddled floor. Battler's son. Footsteps! Someone's coming down the stairs! No, he mustn't!
What?
I took his hand and ran out of the room, dragging him towards the submarine base. Ava entered the room and picked up the gold ring that was at her feet.
Wait! Let me go! I said let go!
What's going on? What are you even...
Sorry, Goda-san. Can you tell me where the chap... Dad! Everyone! Goda-san! He's been... Jessica! I have to let everyone know. Kiryu-san! Maria's in danger! Shit! 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 What's going on? What's going on? Is there anyone left alive? Anyone? They're all dead. They all have been murdered. A murderer snuck onto this island. We must call the police. Are you the Beatrice from that letter? Did you do that? Did you do that to them? And me? You want to kill me too?
No! No, Battler son! I want to rescue you.
You know my name? Rescue? Wait. That voice. Shannon-chan?
The witch covered her mouth in a swift movement.
Why would you dress up as the witch? No. Your shoulder. You've been attacked by the culprit too? Did you see who it was, Shannon-chan? Who? What kind of monster killed everyone? I'm gonna kill that bastard!
You can't! Enough blood was shed in this family.
In this family? You mean it was all that damn geezer's doing?
No, please, Battler son. Stop thinking.
Any other corpse I haven't seen would be... It can't be. She wouldn't do such a thing. Why did this happen? Among family? It's so stupid.
Battler turned toward the way we came from and took a step.
We must call the police now.
We mustn't go back. We'll be killed. We can't call the police. No boat could come in this storm anyway, and we can't leave the island either. What we can do now is hide ourselves right here.
Beatrice was crouching in pain on the floor, then looked up at me with tears in her eyes.
Please. Don't go away. Don't leave me alone. Battler's son.
If we follow this
If we follow this underground tunnel to the other side of the island, there will be a boat. If we wait there until the storm passes, then we could escape.
Can we do anything to capture the culprit before escaping?
It's all useless, I think. Our opponent has guns, and no longer any qualms about killing people. Unarmed, we're easy prey.
But that damn geezer in Kenon-kun might still be safe.
No. On this island, there are now just only us two, and the culprit left. Battler sat on the ground, clutching at his head.
I can't even begin to understand this. How did it even come to this? Shannon-chan, what and how far do you know things? Why this outfit?
Let's walk a little further, Butler-san. They might find us here. I hope you'll humble me and believe what I'm about to tell you. Butler-sama. The girl disguised as a witch grabbed the hems of her dress and gave a small, dignified bow. I am the human who is Shannon, yet also Kenon, Yasuda Sayo, as well as the third golden witch, Beatrice. I have eagerly awaited for your return.
Shannon-chan?
I have laid out there what was so hard to say. He would never have asked me Even though I wanted him to solve it, why am I suddenly so open about it? Is it because all the gambles are at an end? If that was the case, then I could have just stayed silent.
I don't get it yet. So you were planning to kill us like you announced?
Yes. But your parents among them, ended up solving the epitaph, and a dispute about the gold broke out. I foresaw a quarrel like this, yet I did not stop it. No, even if I didn't end up like this, I would have killed them anyway. If you hadn't come back, things wouldn't have turned out the way they did. No, this is wrong. That's just an excuse. I'm the one who should be hated. So many things went just like in my plans. That's why this tragedy is my sin. I was even planning on killing you. It would be fitting for you to kill me here right now. The both of us fell silent for a long time, but then Butler broke the silence.
Planning on killing me, right? I don't quite get it. But it sounds like you were in a lot of pain, right? I wonder if I had solved the epitaph, if then I could have saved you. I don't think you've sinned. If the plan fails, it's just an attempt, or something like that. Besides, aren't you trying to rescue me right now?
From the very beginning.
I've managed to calm me down a little because you're here too. Thank you, Shannon-chan.
From the very beginning, I wanted to open up to you and beg for forgiveness. I just wanted to feel at ease. Butler, son.
Hey, it's all right. Your shoulder hurts, right? Let's rest for a bit. Let's see. I still have that candy Maria gave me.
There were so many mysteries that I wanted to talk to you about. So many things I wanted to talk with you about. Sharing a candy together, huddling our bodies together. All of it filled me with bliss. My consciousness gradually faded away as my body rested against his.
Yeah, Logan, this is from the manga.
Oh, you're up. You were so tired you slept like you were dead.
Butler-san, do you know the time?
Oh, let's see. It's just past 11 p.m. You did talk quite a lot.
It's not even 1 hour left before the explosion. Butler-san...
I still can't quite believe it. Was it really just last night that we were having fun in the cousin's room? They're really gone, huh? Maria, Jessica, and even Aniki.
It's really
true, right? It's not a nightmare, is it?
Butler-san. To see such atrocities with your own eyes, anyone's heart would break. He simply overdid it, just like me last night.
Yeah, Violet, It's kind of why I think that this couple is, like, doomed to fail in the way that it is, unfortunately, because it's like, even with all of the other issues aside, there's still one massive issue that literally cannot be reconciled. It just, like, there's literally no fixing that. And so, like, I think Sayo knows that right now, too, and it's probably going to inform what she ends up doing at the end of this scene, if you remember.
What's this loss of spirit, Battler?
Shannon-chan?
I am not Shannon, for I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. The House of Ushiromiya is the clan of the One-Winged Eagle. Do you think it suits an eagle to cower on the ground like this? Stand!
The witch held out her hand as she said this.
What? You...
What is this? Show it to me. Your spirit.
Logan, I meant the family thing, yeah.
The witch looked down on me with a blush on her face. I grabbed her hand and stood. Thank you. To be cheered up by a witch, I must be really lucky. We have to hurry.
Come, Butler. I'll lead you through the underground of my island.
I grasped his hand once again and started running again. What? Okay. We have to hurry.
It will explode at any moment now.
You're running too fast. What about your shoulder?
This island will blow up at midnight. The explosion will cover a 1-kilometer radius.
What? There's been a bomb like that set up on this island?
According to my calculations, we'll never be able to escape the explosion at the far... We will be able to escape the explosion at the far edge of the island.
What? Then what about everyone's bodies? Any evidence and everything else will be blown away. All of the truth will be locked up in the witch's cap box. Butler looked down on his watch. Shit! Wait! Are you okay with that? If everything is blown away, that includes all of the bodies. Even Aniki's! Why didn't you tell me any of this sooner? We might have been able to deactivate the bomb!
A dead husk without a soul is only a cage of flesh. Nothing but an object.
What?
What would you gain by risking going back? I told you. I want to rescue you.
Butler pulled my arm towards him in an attempt to stop me. I then felt my body being lifted up in the air.
But, Butler!
I was now being carried on his back.
It's because you are...
Okay. The translation is a little awkward in this part.
It's because you're an asshole who runs too much. Is this the right way?
Yes, straight ahead.
Then shut up now. I would laugh my ass off if you bite your tongue and die before the explosion.
Yeah, they in Violet, they clearly didn't use the Yen Press translation.
The blast sent us flying for a few meters, and when the cloud of dust finally cleared, we noticed the ceiling of the passageway behind us caved in and blocked off the path. Goodbye, my loved ones. I will never forget you.
One second. Just checking up on something real quick. Where are all my notifications coming from? I hate Discord. Okay, whatever. I'll check it in a minute.
This is...
The ruins of a former submarine base.
This is the place where you and I met 2 generations ago. It's kind of romantic when you put it like that.
JunePop45 with the $5. Every time Marcy does a coughing SFX, I feel for her throat and lungs. Thank you. Fear for her throat and lungs. Don't worry, I'll be fine. This is kind of a retread of a scene that we've already read at this point, but I guess I'll continue going.
I got closer to the edge of the deck and pulled off the cover from the motorboat.
Here, take this. It's heavy.
Wow.
It's a gold ingot. I hid one away in case something like this would happen.
Battler took the rope tied to the ingot in his hand.
Have you ever steered a motorboat?
Why would I have?
It's easy. I'll show you.
The motor started making noise.
If you steer out there and go around the edge of the island, you can see Nijima. Then, you only have to head for any beach.
You're not coming?
I cannot go, for I'm the master of the Golden Land, so I cannot go.
And what will you do here?
What would I do there? What would I do there?
Living!
I cannot live. I've already committed countless sins in countless worlds called fragments. The number of lives I've taken, the number of sins, it's too high.
That was all just attempts. You haven't committed one sin in our world.
You know that isn't true. This outcome is something that I've brought about. Go forth, as long as my mood is still good. Before long, I'll shroud this island in a storm again.
Well then, I'll have to take you home as a souvenir from the Golden Land.
My body was once again lifted up in the air, but this time in a bridal carry.
Let me go! This is dangerous!
As I said that, Battler was boarding onto the motorboat with me still in his arms.
I will run away with you.
But I felt my face getting hotter.
If you've sinned, then I've done so too for leading you there. So I ask you to let me share the burden of that cross. I will help you share that cross my entire life. Leave the Golden Land. Together with me.
No screen shake. We were now together on the boat. Battler took off his jacket, feeling the wind against his skin and looking up to the sky. After a gust of wind just blew his jacket away, we decided to take it easy. There was no need to rush. Nobody was waiting for us, after all.
Will I be able to live, though?
Sure, you might not have a magical butler. There are lots of things that don't exist on Rokenjima. First, let's get your shoulder fixed at a hospital. Then, I'll show you the world.
Your world is too bright for a sinful witch like myself.
Just try and live. If you want to make up for hundreds of sins, then do so by living. Live life to the fullest of your potential. That's the way to atone for your sins.
Is that the only way?
Yes, and you'll definitely atone for everything. I believe that.
Butler.
Don't look at me all teary-eyed. I'll get red.
I'm sorry. Then would you at least close your eyes?
Beato's face was now in front of mine.
Yeah, it's the moment. It's made a little awkward by context that we know the Battler doesn't. But again, like I said, considering what she's about to do, I think you can understand. It's like, you know, she already plans to die. Not that it's good, but you know what I mean. It's like, it's fucking over. Anyway.
Why should I close my eyes? You're too close.
What a foolish man. You deserve a curse for kidnapping a witch from her golden land. I told you to close your eyes!
Indigo with the 5 pounds. This is the most doomed of Yuris. Yeah, pretty much.
It's embarrassing for me.
She didn't tell him, though. She told him the murder plans, but not her motive. Yeah, like, pretty much. She, like, told him that she was planning on murdering everybody and, like, the specifications for how, but I don't think she tells him about that part. I could be wrong, but that's what I took away from it.
Her face was getting redder and redder. Oh, and so did mine. I gulped and closed my eyes tightly. I felt her hand on top of mine, and I felt her breath against my lips. Then, our lips met. After a few seconds, I felt her face moving away, and I took a small peek and... Her hand pushed against my face.
Don't look! Don't look at my face!
What? It's not like anything would happen, though.
Have you no shame? Don't open them!
Why?
Because I want to kiss you one more time.
I felt her get closer once more. This time she kissed my ear. What's wrong with you? That's embarrassing! She blew into my ear.
I'm sorry, Battler. Am I not an inhuman, devilish witch?
That you are. You're the worst and the cruelest. I could hear her rising to her feet.
That's why I won't atone for my sins. Instead, I'll roll about laughing about hundreds of deaths. I'm that kind of witch.
You truly are. But that really is like you. I accidentally opened my eyes for a second, and when I did, the witch was nowhere to be seen. The witch had vanished, like a dream or an illusion, and so had the single ingot they had carried with them. Beato?
And they're gonna play the original scene with the original acting, so I'll let you hear it this time.
言ったろバトラー。わらわは極悪な魔女だから罪など償わぬと。生きてなど償わぬと。愚かなバトラよ。せっかく島を生きて出られたのに、そなたはそれを投げ出すのか。
俺はお前を離さない。
気持ちは嬉しいぞ。だがわらわは幻想の住人、そしてそなたは人間。帰るべき世界が違うのだ。わらわは幻想へ帰る。そしてそなたも自分の世界へ帰るがいい。
逃がすかよ。お前は俺だけの黄金の魔女だ。
バカバトラバカバトラ。
お前が望む奈落になら俺も一緒に落ちよう。そこが虚無の世界ならばお前と一緒に消えよう。だが消える最後の瞬間までお前は俺のものだ。そして何も見えない真っ暗な世界がぼっと輝きました。それはあたかも黄金の輝き。それは黄金のバラでした。
それがふわりと 純白の無垢な砂が敷き詰められた世界にたどり着きます。そこには白い砂に半分埋まった小さな箱、
それは静かな海の底で安らかに眠るベアクリーチェの猫箱。その上にふわりと黄金のバラは舞い降りるのでした。
それは深い深い海の底のお話。真っ暗な真っ暗な暗闇の中にほのかに輝く黄金のバラが眠っているというとてもささやかな物語。
This is the Golden Land. No, this is the world that I desired. The world of the cat box. I ended up dragging you here with me. You who wanted to live so much. You're so kind that you would jump in right after. If somebody jumped before your eyes. I should have anticipated this. I should have known in advance, and yet...
What am I? Why am I here? And who are you?
You don't remember anything? Anything at all? Is this our conclusion? Just continuing to sway around in this cat box along with countless fragments without arriving anywhere? In this purgatory? I will keep on waiting for you on the summit of this very Mount Purgatorio. So let us begin it here, what we could not bring to an end in our lifetime. A battle about whether or not it was a witch or a human. I will wait forever, until you rip the me that is a witch apart and find the me that is our promise. This will surely be an eternal game, and thus an eternal torture. For you. For me. Let us hope you shall weave a fitting conclusion for us both.
Let us go towards our golden land.
And that is all of the bonus manga content that has been adapted into VN form. It's a lot. But it's very beautiful. And wow, Umineko, I'm feeling things about it all over again. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. Now that being said, like I said, this is not the end of the stream. We're going to be ending things with more of a palate cleanser, a little bit more of a lighthearted thing, because, yeah, that was a lot, and I feel like we deserve some time to sort of decompress. So I will be back in just a few minutes. It won't take long at all. And then we will get to our palate cleanser. Thank you so much, everybody. Be right back.
You're in tune to the new cyber sounds and we lock down in the media. It's all about high-level music for the Y2K vibe. Shouts out to the UK talent. Just keep pressing on and moving forward. Cause UK talent is nearly at its peak, yeah? Don't give up now, it's not long. It's just a matter of time.
All right, chat, I'm back. Let's get to it. Let me just switch my window real quick and adjust the size. Please. Hello. Hello, for the love of God. Specified window is not a game. That's for me to decide, not for you. Well, hold on. I'll just add a different source if it's going to be stupid about it. One moment. There we go. Let me just get this into position. Please. Please. Okay. One moment. No. And then make this, oh no, right. I have to put it here too. And then fit to screen. Okay. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a little bit different. And because I've tired out my voice, I feel like I'm going to need some help for this one, so I'm actually going to be summoning my own personal furniture to help me with the reading of this tale. So, just hold on, let me remember the incantation. What was it again? Come, try to remember. What form did you have? Well-timed sound.
Hello, my lady.
Ah, thank you. You're here, Bartolomeo. Otherwise known as Bart.
Bart was a friend's name. Please, call me Barto.
Okay, I see. Indigo with the 2 pounds. Yes. I think they're excited for your arrival, furniture.
I can't blame them.
Well,
it is a pleasure to know me.
I like that confident attitude. So, without further ado, what do you say we get into When They Fry?
Yes.
Luncheon of the Carbon Witch. Welcome to Springfield. The Carbon Witch extends her heartfelt greetings. Please take it easy and enjoy your afternoon meal. The difficulty is cromulent. There is no reason to be suspicious. The story is fictional. Any resemblance to real people, events, etc. is purely coincidental. This work hasn't been made for distribution within Japan. Please be aware that usage inside of Japan is probably fine, but check the laws or ethics regulations of your country. Okay.
I stood outside a home in the heat of the summer. The previously frosty wine bottle I was carrying now bordering on lukewarm. I was invited here by one of Springfield's many school principals, Seymour Skinner. Unfortunately, it seems his ineptitude has seeped into his instructions on where he lives, resulting in me wandering around for some time, in a full suit, in the blazing sunlight. Straightening myself up, I rang the doorbell. Well, Seymour, I made it, despite your directions.
Ah, Superintendent Chalmers, welcome. I hope you're prepared for an unforgettable luncheon.
I gave a vague acknowledgement of those words and made my way inside. The dining room was modest, with an ice bucket prepared to chill the wine, making it the first thing Seymour had done today that actually met any standards.
Piney Tree with the $2. Where is the furniture's P&G, Nezumi? They don't know that I don't have money.
A shame.
I set the wine down and seated myself as Seymour went ahead into the kitchen.
Principal Skinner this is regular narrator. Principal Skinner shut the kitchen door and methodically walked towards the oven. Steam was pouring out the front in dense clouds.
Is the food prepared yet?
If someone heard Skinner say this, they would have assumed he was talking to himself, and that he would soon open the oven to check the meal within, but he never motioned to open the oven. In fact, he never moved at all. Instead, the steam became more turbulent, twisting and billowing, growing thicker and thicker until it almost looked solid. No, it really did become solid. Care Bear and Ross with the $5 petitioned to Photoshop a Family Guy face onto the Simpsons couch for his PNG.
I can second this motion.
The steam coalesced into the form of a young man in a waiter's uniform. Despite the nature of what just happened, Skinner didn't seem surprised in the least. Oh no, I forgot to unmute the desktop. I'm sorry. Well, it's here now.
I'm afraid it's not quite ready yet. It should be prepared in a few minutes.
Wonderful! I'm glad I can always rely on the SVT. Did you remember to make fries?
Of course, sir. A platter of steamed hams on a bed of fries, as requested. Shall I prepare drinks as well?
There'll be no need for that. But so long as you're here, how do I look? I'm trying to make a good impression on the superintendent, you see.
Well, if I may, you appear to be slouching.
Slouching? Well, that won't do at all. Mother always said a curvy spine is the devil's roller coaster. I suppose all I can do is some basic stretching and hope he doesn't notice. Regardless, continue with your work.
After being dismissed, the waiter evaporated all at once and became steam once more. Skinner looked for something to stretch on. He wouldn't dare let the superintendent see him before he was prepared, so it had to be something in the kitchen. It didn't take long for his eyes to fall onto the windowsill.
I definitely heard something just now. Was Skinner talking to someone? It would be rude to just barge into the kitchen, but if I asked where the bathroom is, that would probably justify it. I found Skinner with his leg hanging halfway out the window, and thick dark clouds spewing from the oven.
Superintendent, I was just, stretching my calves on the windowsill. Isometric exercise. Care to join me?
Why is there smoke coming out of your oven, Seymour?
Oh, that isn't smoke. It's steam. Steam from the steamed clams we're having. Steamed clams.
Skinner rubbed his stomach to emphasize the fact. Chalmers glared at Skinner, but ultimately relented and returned to the dining room.
Well, it's getting real tense. And time marches onward. Remarkably, Skinner... Oh, wait. I guess this is Chalmers' voice, probably. Also, Piney Tree, thank you for renewing your channel membership.
Remarkably, Skinner returned just a few minutes later with unburned food.
Superintendent, I hope you're ready for mouth-watering hamburgers.
I thought we were having steamed clams.
No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburgers.
You call hamburgers steamed hams?
Yes, it's a regional dialect.
Uh-huh. What region?
Upstate New York?
Really? Well, I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anyone use the phrase steamed hams.
Oh, not in Utica, no. It's an Albany expression.
I see. Hold on a second.
Suddenly, the world expanded. And the luncheon was being observed by a man who appeared to be the superintendent, who was sitting in a room that looked very much like the same dining room he was observing. Sitting across from him, however, was a man who could hardly be mistaken for Principal Skinner. Who stumbled over himself constantly when trying to keep up appearances. This man, on the other hand, had such a confident presence that it almost made him seem lazy, his large cloak crumpling unevenly as he leaned back in his chair, and a tray of tea that he hadn't got around to brewing yet sat on his half of the table. But despite that, the cloaked man was indeed the principal.
Oh, what seems to be the issue?
Your piece definitely said it was steamed clams earlier in the kitchen. In fact, he said it twice.
And?
And? It means you were obviously lying just now.
Does it really? What if my piece simply misspoke? Surely you aren't going to treat a mere slip of the tongue as evidence of anything.
But doing it twice in a row?
Has such a thing never happened to you? I find that hard to believe. Frankly, I'm not interested in the elocution of my piece. I'm much more interested in what you thought of my summon. Wasn't he everything a magical cooking companion should be?
I don't care about that. It's all some sort of trick. You probably just have someone else in the house helping you cook.
How rude. But I get the feeling you will dwell on this issue, so allow me to make it plain with the red truth. The only people in this house at any point today are Superintendent Chalmers, Principal Skinner, and Agnes Skinner. Superintendent Chalmers refers to both you and the man who brought wine to this luncheon. Principal Skinner refers to both myself and the man who invited you to this luncheon. Agnes Skinner refers to the woman currently on the second floor of the house. She does not interact with the luncheon in any way. I felt it would be simpler if we just referred to ourselves instead of saying my piece and your piece over and over. My familiar is not a person, of course. He is a being born of my own magic.
That was oddly detailed, though that doesn't explain all the smoke I saw coming out of your oven.
You saw smoke? When exactly?
Well, I didn't really get a clear look at it, but it was definitely smoke.
Ho ho! You have a truly interesting conception of what definitely means. Are you sure you didn't mean to say, I have my own stubborn, ignorant assumption of what was coming out of the oven?
Don't mess with me. You know damn well steam doesn't look like that.
And yet, you can't say for certain it was smoke, can you? Even though you saw it yourself.
It was just on the far side of the kitchen. I just couldn't get a good enough look. I still know for sure it wasn't steam.
I realize why you can't see it as steam, you know. It's because you lack that single element. That one precious element that all humans need.
What are you babbling about all of a sudden? Single element? What in the world does that mean? For a moment, Seymour's eyes lost their arrogant spark, and they became gentle and soft as he smiled plainly at Chalmers.
Love. Without love, it cannot be steamed.
Steamed? Wow. How brilliant. How breathtaking. Oh, give me a break. Let's just get back to the game.
You mean luncheon?
The room was almost silent, except for the occasional sound of hams being eaten.
Chomp. You know, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have at Krusty Burger.
Oh no! Patented Skinner burgers. Old family recipe.
For steamed hams?
Yes.
Yes, and you call them steamed hams despite the fact that they are obviously grilled. I removed the bun from my burger and showed Skinner what was clearly grill marks on the patty.
You know, the one thing I should... Excuse me for 1 second.
Of course. Skinner left his seat and entered the kitchen, before coming back almost immediately and making a large, exaggerated yawning motion, like a puppet whose strings hadn't yet been cut.
Oh, well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
I glanced at my watch. It was getting fairly late. Yes, I should be... Good Lord! What is happening in there? I jumped out of my chair, unable to comprehend what I was seeing. The door was still swinging open from Seymour's hasty return. I could see a bright, fiery glow behind him was coming from within the kitchen. Just what is this?
Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis! At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
I set down my lemon tea and paused, thinking hard to myself. After everything that unfolded up to this point, I had only one question on my mind. Is the tea supposed to be this strong?
I always brew it this way. Do you take it with it? Wait. Never mind that. Aren't you going to give your ideas on what is happening? How I conjured an Aurora into my kitchen?
Oh, I'm not really concerned about any of that. Once I see the inside of the kitchen for myself, none of your claims will matter.
So you're just going to wait until you have all the facts without making any theories. How dull. But, if you insist.
May I see it?
No.
As soon as he said that, I was instantly escorted out of the house. At the moment we stepped out the front door, the shrill voice of an elderly woman howled from above.
Seymour! The house is on fire!
No, Mother, it's just the Northern Lights.
Well, Seymour, you're an odd fellow, but I must say, you steam a good ham. I turned and began my walk home. At least this time I knew where to go. But when I heard that woman's voice, this time screaming for help, I looked back at Seymour one last time. He gave me a big thumbs up, ensuring me that all was well. The aurora Seymour mentioned had now spread to the front of the house and was somewhat visible, glowing fiercely through the windows. I've never heard of anyone being hurt by an aurora, so I decided to leave him to it. There was also an excessive amount of those same dark clouds coming from the house, so I figured we must be having steamed hams for dinner, too. It was only natural that someone who steamed such good hams would want to eat them for every meal. Satisfied both mentally and nutritionally, I resumed my walk home.
And there you have it. Now then, your theories, if you would.
What the hell was that? Where do I even begin with such a farce? Why did my piece just accept everything he was told? Why wasn't he let into the kitchen? Are you cheating somehow, Skinner?
My, to think you would accuse me of cheating because you saw your piece act as a polite guest.
Quit avoiding the question. Are you cheating or not?
I am not cheating. Really, would it kill you to at least try to reason it out?
It's just like I said earlier. Someone else is helping you. You probably screwed up your luncheon just like you screw up everything else. And now you're trying to pass off a raging house fire as the godforsaken Northern Lights.
I already told you in red. No one else is in the house today who can help me with the luncheon.
Maybe someone outside the house passed hamburgers through the kitchen window.
Nobody passed anything to me through any window. Really now, an unknown ham X? I'm starting to understand why you were so reluctant to explain things when this is the caliber of your reasoning. There's a very obvious solution to all this that you haven't even considered.
What? That I accept all this magic nonsense you keep alluding to?
Even simpler. Just take everything with sincerity. Accept the steam, the aurora, and acknowledge that all that happened here is your dear employee prepared a wondrous luncheon for you to the best of his ability.
Absolutely not! That's almost as unbelievable as magic! No, it might actually be worse. There's no way I'll ever believe it's something like that!
Then explain yourself! Prove that this house fire you allude to really happened!
You said something interesting earlier. That Agnes does not interact with the luncheon in any way. Didn't we just hear her screaming from the second floor window?
Ah, well, you see, I consider the luncheon to have ended once we have left the house.
Well, in that case, everything lines up perfectly. Agnes is the one who cooked those hams. She did it before the luncheon even started, and maybe even made them for some other reason. That way it wouldn't count as interacting with the luncheon. You then reheated the hams, which was also the cause of the fire due to your intense inadequacy. To top it all off, she proved that there really was a fire all along.
Preparing any of the hams beforehand counts as interacting with the luncheon. I would prefer if you didn't make Mother out to be some sort of accomplice, not that you care. And what's this about proof of a fire? And spare me the where there's smoke, there's fire spiel. You can't even prove the existence of smoke.
She yelled at the top of her damn lungs that there was a fire.
Ho ho ho, don't tell her I said this, but well, her eyesight isn't what it used to be.
Give it up, Seymour. If you want to prove Agnes didn't see a fire, then use the red truth. You can't, can you?
The red truth? Well, your issue with that is, my mother never saw a fire in the house today. Nor did she hear, feel, smell, or otherwise sense a fire, in fact. No fire existed in my mother's house at all today.
What do you even mean by that?
Don't pretend you didn't understand me, you fool. You know exactly what that means. Now, explain everything if you truly intend to oppose the truth I laid out.
Wait, I've got it. A smoke machine. You used some sort of machine that makes smoke or something to make some kind of fake flames.
No fake fire, fake smoke, or devices to create either existed in or near this house today.
That doesn't make any sense. What else could it be?
The Aurora Borealis, you pathetic man. Just accept the truth that's right in front of you.
An Aurora Borealis. Could it really exist in Skinner's kitchen? The chance of seeing them is almost 100% if you live far up enough north. But down here in America, the chance of seeing one at all is incredibly low. Maybe only 0.1% chance per day. And if it's during the summer, when the effect is at its weakest, it's more like 0.01%. Even that is only when it's nighttime. During the day, the chances must be something like 0.000001%. It's unlikely, but possible. But for it to be bright orange, one of the least likely kinds of aurora, and be located specifically within Skinner's kitchen, something like that would certainly be a miracle. What's gotten into me? Of course it's not possible. There's no way something like that could ever happen. But then, how? How does any of this work? Damn it. I just don't understand. None of this makes any sense.
Giving up already? What happened to all that bravado you had earlier?
Just what kind of trick did you use? It has to be something convoluted, something ridiculous. It's
Delightfully devilish?
Seymour!
I don't know. I'm not sure how they're going to follow this up in the second episode, to be honest.
I haven't the slightest inkling.
Well, I mean, that was really good. I don't know what you guys think was going on in that one, chat. I don't even think a theory corner for this one is going to be necessary because I mean, there's no way. I mean, I think you just give up. That's like the natural conclusion to me, right? You just give up.
Well, I can tell you one thing that I know definitively.
Mm-hmm.
There are 21 other shorts that can follow this one.
21?
All about the hometown of Springfield.
Wow. Oh my god. That's a lot of episodes. This is probably gonna be like longer than that Loud House fanfiction, you think?
I can only hope.
Oh, David J with the $20. I want to taste unknown ham X. But if maybe that would be nice, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust Skinner with those hams. I'm gonna have to wait and see if we can get back to the menus. I can't speak Japanese, so I just copied the actual credits. Care Bear and Ross with the $2. I sus Barto as the secret assistants to Skinner Treach. He would not do that. You wouldn't do that, right?
No.
Oh, hey. New elements. We're not quite done yet, I guess. Oh, there's a tea party. Yes, of course. You've done well to make it this far. Did you enjoy your stay in Springfield? The Carbon Witch has granted you an invitation to her tea party. We hope that you choose to attend. Well, I guess we have both tea parties to go through, so we have a bit of reading ahead of us. Oh. I see. Well, that does answer some questions that I had. Okay, well, go to the question mark segment. $19.99. I wonder what's happening here. Let's go full screen for intrigue. Oh, hey.
Well, what did you think? Were you able to solve it?
For what purpose would you show me this?
What's wrong? When I told you I had a never-before-seen forgery, you could barely contain your excitement.
You deliberately misled me. If I had known all you had was some ridiculous fan fiction,
That's right. I forgot you only like fan fiction about the death of real people. As soon as I said that, I rose from my seat.
Wait, please! You must have more to show me besides this!
The man called out to me, but by that point I was already in the elevator. Even at the very end, he was desperate to disgrace the dead.
Number 8. Number 8. Number 8.
Turn that off.
8.
Well, what, you don't like conceptual artists?
I reached over and turned it off myself. Amakusa looked genuinely disappointed when I did this.
Damn, guess I'll put on something else.
He sullenly tucked away the offending tape and replaced it with a new one.
So, how'd it go?
I don't think he appreciated it. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's never even watched The Simpsons. It was probably impossible to understand if you haven't watched the show.
Well, it is pretty weird for anyone to watch a show like that here in Japan.
Are you trying to say I'm weird? The one who hauls a golf... I'm not the one who hauls a golf bag around when he doesn't even play golf.
Doesn't hurt to be prepared, lady. Speaking of preparations, what you doing for New Year's?
Hibaki gave me the $5. This lines up with Anjay's tastes. Only men on screen. Also, I love Barto. Barto would never take advantage of my innate gullibility.
That's true.
I am furniture. I can only do what my lady wills me to do.
Huh? That's still a couple months from now. Isn't it a little too early to be worrying about that?
This isn't just any New Year. It'll be the year 2000. You'll never see a New Year's like this ever again. And besides, you only get so many New Years in your life, so you shouldn't waste a single one.
I don't plan on wasting any.
Did you maniac with the 20? Kudos to Anjay for that brutal burn. So fantastic.
That doesn't mean I need to be the kind of person who schedules months in advance. Still, the year 2000. I guess it is pretty incredible. Here's to another lousy millennium.
You really shouldn't watch so much foreign TV, lady.
I kicked the back of Amakusa's seat. Well...
Well, that was a brilliant way to cap this stream off, I would say. Thank you so much, my furniture, for helping me read this. You can relinquish yourself to whatever other duties you may have now.
Of course, my lady. It is always a pleasure. And for you, chat, please, enjoy the next few years of your life.
But just the next few? What's going to happen after that? Wait, hey, what did you mean by that? Hang on.
Strange. Strange and unusual.
Well, I'm sure there was nothing. Care Bear and Ross at the $2, deploring it as Anjay's mocking people is the best twist. Yeah, so there you go. I think that this was a very wonderful way to cap off our anniversary stream. But before we go once again into that deep, deep sea, we actually have some fan art to look at too. So why don't we go ahead and get around to that before we pardon ourselves for the night. Let me just get it all up. Let's see. Just give me one moment. Let's see. Almost done. Pardon me for taking a moment. And let me check the Discord real quick. Wow, there's actually quite a bit put into the Discord today. So this is fun. Okay. I think that should be everything. So let's go ahead and get this window up. And by the way, for this fan game, for the Steam Hams fan game, I will be putting a link in the description after the stream ends for those of you who want to check it out for yourself. I didn't want to ruin the surprise before, but, you know, I will be doing that afterward. Anywho. So, let's go ahead and get this up. So, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am so excited that you were able to finish this before stream time, but we are starting off very, very strong with a piece by Chiyoko at Chiyoko Arts on Twitter. After months of working on this project, I finally finished it just in time for the anniversary stream tonight. It was an honor to work on it. This is absolutely outstanding. So for those of you who are having some trouble remembering, to update you on the context of this. So all throughout the stream series of Umineko, so many people sent in their own brilliant and creative OCs that they came up with over the course of the story, and Chiyoko basically went through and like found all of the OCs that people submitted, or at least nearly all of the OCs that people submitted, and drew a big piece with all of them together, our own little golden land of sorts. Arabaki gave me the $2. Everyone is here. Everyone is here. And honestly, like this right here, like this piece to me is so like representative of everything that we were able to do here. Like this whole stream series, all of everybody's creativity, what they were able to contribute to the reading, and how much like everybody enjoyed it. And like to me, that's just really like extremely special. Like there's really nothing I can say to express like how cool and like, you know, just like how much this like actually touches me. It's very sweet. Like, and Chiyoko, you did a fucking fantastic job. The fact that you were able to do all of this in that amount of time that it took you as well, like 38 characters, that is genuinely fascinating that like you were able to do that in that amount of time, because like I wouldn't have been able to do this in that amount of time at all. And like the fact that it came out so well, the fact that you brought everybody together in such like a, you know, like everybody is posed really well. It all just like comes together really well. It all feels like it's very cohesive. And like, yeah, I don't know. That's just like, it's really cool. And I'm just, yeah, I'm kind of floored. Like every time I look at it, it just reminds me of how many people have been along on this journey and enjoying the reading. And it makes me a little sad that it's like, this is definitely, aside from whenever I maybe like end up streaming Golden Fantasia at some point in the future, probably the last Umineko related stream I am going to do. But it's been one hell of a fucking ride, and I'm really glad that we got to do something for the anniversary together with everybody. Yeah, this is the Golden Land. I wouldn't have preferred to spend it in better company than with all of you. So thank you, Chiyoko, for this beautiful, beautiful piece. Next up from Tumblr is yet another great piece by Dingo's Trash. Whoa, another Umineko stream upon us. Thank you for Marcy for sharing this story with us. It's truly made me a little insane. I'd like to share my grown-up Maria design. Maria lives to me. That is a really fucking cool design. Also, spoilery drawing under the cut. They're some of the greatest written characters out there, but she really takes the cake. Yeah. Oh, man. Ouch. My heart. Dingo, you did a really, really good job on this. This is fantastically done. Also, I really, really like your design for older Maria. This is really fun. I really like the fashion. I like the stitched together Sakutaro. It's really cool. I think you did a really great job with envisioning what to do with an older Maria design. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, you did a fantastic job with. Also, this is like a stab in the gut. Thank you. Next up, we have this from Tiny Ceratops Art on Tumblr. Finally made it to the window scene in episode 5, although I can't make it to NezumiVA's stream until I finish episode 8. Here's my contribution to the anniversary art. And we also have Femme Battler here. Let's fucking go! Yeah, this is like, it's actually kind of ironic that we saw this CG art again in the fan VN port of the manga material tonight. But it's a fun CG, and you did a very good job depicting it. And Femme Battler, very cute design. I really like the hair on this one. Very good job. Next up, we have a couple things from Indigo at Torrential Stardust on Tumblr. Umineko, Friends Reactions. Happy Umiversary, every pony. I don't really have anything extra emotional to say that I haven't already. You lot are epic, and I love you, and all that. Beloved sister from another mister, Celine, also known as Zeet Bleep, that's with bleep with 3s instead of E's, also known as Vera, which I just learned was meant to be pronounced Vera. Oh, okay, I see. Has been rewatching the stream series with her GF, Tiny Ceratops Art. Oh, okay, I see. And it's been really fun seeing both of them react to it. I asked for refs of their self-insert OCs and drew them as I imagined them watching it. It's just a doodle, but I had fun. Also, check out some whips for Higurashi stuffs. Very cool. Looking forward to chapter 3, except for the parts where I'm not. Happy birthday, chat. Much love. This is really cute. I like this. Very good. As always, from Indigo, of course, but, you know. Listen, we all just have to state the obvious sometimes. Next up, we have this from Ubi-Ubi on Tumblr. Glitter Galpen Anje. It doesn't translate well on camera, but I promise she is super shiny in person. This is really cute. I like this a lot. Your style is really, really fun. And I think that the glitter pen really works well for this. It's very cute. It kind of like, I really like the sort of like the flat coloring almost on the like the bow and stuff. It looks really nice on the paper like that. Yeah, fantastic job. Really, really good. Thank you. Next up, we have this from Nessie, that's Nessssy on Tumblr. Another Umineko stream. Happy I got this out in time. I've had the idea for a while, but I'm happy I can show my Umi OC. She's Chester 777 of the Chester Sisters Imperial Guard Corps. She has the power of randomly drawing different ammo types from an internal slot machine. Ooh. By pure luck, she gets the right one for the job each and every time. It's because of this that she lives a lot more relaxed than her mates. She gets along well with Chester 45, which has unknowingly put her into a lifelong rivalry with 410. Thanks again for the streams and happy Confession Day. That's really cute. I think that's a really fun concept, honestly. A slot machine Chester it's pretty fun. Reminds me of the egg dealer, but more competent. And also just the idea of unknowingly making 410 jealous is very funny. Yeah, this is really cool. I like this a lot. You did a very good job with this. Now moving on to the Discord, we have this from Pining Tree. Nezumi, please come back with the white horse like you promised. Witch of Hula Hoop. Yay. That's very cool, very awesome. We have this from Gloomy Squids. Morning Sleepyhead. Just wanted to start this off by saying thank you. I have a very tough time being in groups, despite what it may seem, but this community has been really wonderful. Thank you to Marcy for her wonderful performances and for being a very considerate and kind person. Oh, thank you. Thank you also to chat, who never fail to make me laugh and inspire me with their theory, crafting, and art. All of you are talented and wonderful, and I feel like re-experiencing Umineko in this way has been really fun. Aw, Bloomy. That's so sweet, and this art is really good. And then also a follow-up from Headless or Habaki below that. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you all. Reading Umineko the first time, it may have given me a lot to think about, but the second playthrough has definitely changed my life. Never forget the lessons you learned. You have all made this experience very valuable and important to me. You are indelible proof of the power of creativity. Make connections and meet new people. Seek to understand all that is around you without losing your humanity. Take care, all. Wah. That was very sweet and beautiful. Thank you, guys. Next up, we have some doodles from Pining Tree that were scattered throughout the stream as well. A spider in her own web. Ugh. As well as Buckshot Queen. She would win. Honestly, yeah, probably so. And then Sacrificial Steak. I could go for some steak right about now. I'm feeling pretty hungry. And then we also have more Umineko spoilers. The Tokimeki Memorial art fits, huh? This is very cute. Thank you for your doodles, as always. Next up, from Space Caribou, or Dav, we have Happy Umiversary! With the cake, and the eagle, and the yay! This is really cute. Thank you. I wish I had a cake like that right about now, honestly. I would, please, chocolate. But who knows? Maybe I can sort something like that out soon. And Dav also added a caption. Happy streamiversary, everyone. It's hard to believe it's already been 1 year since that first Umineko stream. You're telling me. I remember watching that 10-hour epic, being sad, but understanding that it was going to be a one-off. Thank God it wasn't. I wouldn't have experienced my favorite ever story with so many new, incredible friends if it had ended there. To Marcy, thank you so much for giving me and everyone else here so much happiness by bringing this work to life and developing an amazing community along the way. To all of my friends, thank you for making my life so much brighter and taking the journey along with me. Much love, everyone. Aww. That's so sweet. All of you are being so sweet right now. It's almost like this is the anniversary of like a big stream series that we all enjoyed or something. I'm really glad that we got to come around and do this again. Returning to Rokenjima one last time has been truly special. And I mean, obviously, like I said, we'll probably hit up Golden Fantasia at some point, and that will be fun, but I don't know specifically when. Who knows? Maybe I'll wait until October 4th of this year, and then we can do that. Maybe that would be fun. We'll see. But, yeah, I think that's probably it. Let me just do a final sweep real quick, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Plenty of practice time. Yeah, I need to practice. I am not good at fighting games. Although I guess it would be really funny if I invited a bunch of you onto a stream for that and you kicked my ass. It's generosity. It's generosity speaking. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna just put out that last call. Anybody in chat, do you have anything that you want to throw up here before I go, or are we good? Just let me know, because I don't want to miss anybody, since this is, you know, basically the last. Atropos is animatic. I would like to show that ideally, and I can like show it muted, but the music might make it a bit of an issue. Like, it's only 33 seconds, so we can show that, but yeah. So let's view that though. Oh, why is it paused? One last time, happy birthday, chat. You're all amazing. Thank you, Kitty, for the 5 pounds. This is really well framed, though. I remember you talking about the mansion CG, or the picture, I think. Very good. Oh, that's a really good effect. You really did well with that. Holy crap. The posing from the stage play. Very, very good. I really liked that. This is coming along really well, Atropos. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of that. Vera with the $2. Without love, it cannot be streamed. That's true. Oh, final post because I'm thinking of another animatic. Okay, we'll see. Ooh, okay. But does not. Ooh, ooh, that hurts. That hurts. But that's a really cool idea, though. You're killing it with your animatic ideas. You're gonna make me cry all over again, like I do all the time, with this series. So yeah, let's do one last sweep through the art. Just oh my god, just absolutely fucking incredible. The level of detail here is just oh my god. Just Jesus, Chiyoko, like literal masterwork, literal fucking masterpiece. It's so good. Boop, 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 boop. Wow. Yeah. What else is there to say, I suppose, other than, thank you. Thank you. Atropos with the $5. Fun fact, my tab crashed just as you got to my animatic. Oh no. Well, it'll be there in the VOD. Yeah. Oh, that's right. One last thing before I go, I did want to get to, because I felt like, I mean, I did show it on a stream before, but I felt like it was only appropriate to show it for an Umineko stream. So hold on. There it is. The tattoo that you all chipped in to get during the original Final Episode 8 stream. Just thought that that would be an appropriate thing to show off before we head on out of here. Like I said, this series is very important to me. It'll be with me forever. And now I've infected all of you too. So, yeah. Vera, thank you for gifting the 5 channel memberships. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but, yeah. I'm gonna stop myself there before I get too sappy and aimless and we sit here for another hour. But, thank you everybody so much for tuning in to this Umineko anniversary stream. I've had a hell of a time. It's been a lot of fun. And, yeah. I will obviously... Oh, wait. One last thing. Gamblecore Bunny. Let's fucking go. Yay. Yay. Yippee. Thank you, Pining Tree. I will be back for part 2 stream of Eden's Garden on Tuesday. And I will be back again with Higurashi Arc 3 next Friday. But until then, sleep peacefully, my beloved golden chat. I've had a great time on this Umiversary. Let's meet up again sometime. But until then, see you again. Have a nice dream.